I made a shocking discovery today when I was hanging out over at MEUK's Discord server.
Are we gonna keep on fighting? Are we gonna keep on dividing? Are we gonna keep on fighting? Are we gonna keep on dividing? Well, are we gonna keep on fighting? Are we gonna keep on dividing? Are we gonna keep on fighting? Are we gonna keep on dividing? Well,
Sound level.
All right. Top, we have A and we have C. The blue shows the water level. All right. Bev is going to have a surveyor set out a horizontal tangent line or a horizontal line going from A to C. That's the black mark. Okay.
Yeah.
That's our horizontal. Now, Bev is going to take this water level, fill it up so that the top of the water level coincides with the horizontal line at A. And then he expects to go out to C and see that the water level at C, in that water level, the water itself will agree with the horizontal tangent. That's his claim. Our claim is what's going to really happen.
Wow.
Is what you,
Whoa, Judge. Can
No,
you just
shut
say,
up.
don't
Shut
say
up.
our
Quiet.
claim.
Bev, be quiet.
All right,
Please.
let him speak for everyone then. Go on.
All right. So for those of us that understand that the earth is curved, this is what's actually going to happen. You're going to have your water level go from A to C. You're going to fill it up at A so it agrees with the horizontal tangent or the horizontal line. And then the water will seek its own level so that the height of the water pipe at A, the water at the top of the pipe is going to be at the same height at C above the curvature of the earth, and there will be a gap between the height of the water at C and the horizontal line.
Hey,
And
George,
that
what do
amount will be 8 inches in a mile. If
8
you go
inches?
back to point B, it will be 2 inches to the point where you get to A, that there won't be any gap. So the further you go out
That's
from A
fantastic, George.
towards C, the more of a gap there will be between the top of the water on the water level and the
So, George,
horizontal
when it
line.
looks like your first drawing, when it looks like that, what are you going to say?
Oh, I'll concede. I'll say the earth is flat. And I'll scream from the rooftops.
The
There
earth
we
won't
go.
be flat though, George. It won't make the earth flat. There will still be mountains and valleys.
Yes. We
Yes.
get it.
It will just make
Yeah, we
level
get that.
horizontal,
We get
right?
that.
Will you
Okay,
admit
I'll
that?
declare that the earth is not a spherical planet.
You-
How's that?
Declare that level is horizontal, right? Because that's what the test is, right? It's a test to show that level is horizontal.
It's simple.
All right, fine. If you want to define it that way, fine. Okay.
Thank you. Why are you showing that thing that Casey's done where she's bent?
Yeah. So
Is
that
what
is the
what
prediction.
you imagine?
That is the globe prediction. That
Are you
is the globe
sure?
prediction.
Have you seen
I
all
am-
of those at different water levels?
I'm
Toons?
sure that is the globe
Have you
prediction.
seen that those are water levels? They all the
will
different
clarify.
colours.
I will clarify again. I am sure that that is the globe prediction.
Okay, brilliant. So when that doesn't happen, and we find out, will you be the same as George? Will you say, "Wow,
Absolutely.
fantastic"? Thank
Great,
you.
guys. Good talking to you.
Yeah.
From end to end, it is not horizontal.
Yes, it is.
No, from one end of the mile to the other end
So
is not a
are
horizontal
you
line.
saying an auto level would not establish a horizontal?
I'm saying that differential leveling
Yeah.
techniques done properly
Mm-hmm.
will account for curvature automatically when you keep the foresight and the backsight relatively
Okay.
short and equal through the entire level.
We do not yet have anybody connected. Bev is currently trying to connect, and let's see. I think he's on. So, Bev, can you hear me? I don't hear background Bev.
Hey, can you hear? I don't
There
know
we
what's
go.
going on here.
We've got you. I can hear you. But I don't know about Cleary or the main surveyor. So we will. You can talk as you want, Bev, they can hear you, but so I'll cover a couple things. I saw just yesterday, I went and saw Charlie Duke speak, and that was very exciting. Charlie Duke was the 10th man on the moon. He went in April of 1972. I got this photograph here that I printed out. It was a scan of the original that's housed in Houston. And then I printed it. I cropped it. It was a larger. I wanted him a little more towards the center. So there you go. Can you see? He signed it even. Not in focus there. A little bit of focus. You can even see the reflection of the chat going there, people. Say hi to yourselves. You can see the chat. So there you go. That was cool. He is quite a good speaker. It was a lot of fun. I had lunch with him on Sunday even. So yes. So people asking, Sir, pick up the benevolent. Was Duke the guy speaking to the Apollo 11 crew for the moon landings? Yes, he was Capcom for Apollo 11. So very exciting. He said on the way back, shortly after they headed back from the moon, they had to go outside and get like the film, and there was some experiments that were on the outside that they needed to bring on the inside. So the guy who Young, he went down to the surface with Young, but he stayed orbiting with, who cares? He didn't go on the moon. I forgot his name, the third guy, but he had to go out and get that. And so Charlie Duke was the one that was like outside in the hatch, making sure that all the cables and wires and umbilical cord basically did not get hung up. And he's like, he looked over and he saw the Earth, and it was because of the time and the angle and everything, just saw a sliver of the Earth. And he turned around and they're still close to the moon. He's like, the moon was just huge. It's pretty cool. So that's exciting, isn't it, Bev?
Oh, sorry. I was just trying to get this Zoom thing sorted out. But it's a bit of a silly thing, isn't it? How do you get your picture on in your OBS? I mean, what?
I just do a screen capture.
Do you do this all the time?
Yes, I like Zoom.
Okay.
Yep.
We're trying to swap over to Discord, right? It's much easier on Discord.
Oh, I find it much easier on here. So it's maybe part of experience.
I've never used this Zoom thing before. I haven't got a clue what I'm doing.
Yep. So you can. I don't know. I don't know how to do screen capture on Discord, but you've done that, so I suppose somehow it should be easy enough to figure out somehow. So I see Cleary is saying it's not working on his phone. Are you on your phone, Bev, or
no,
you're on a desktop?
I'm on PC.
Okay. And we've got the main surveyor is he had a limited time, and so he's I think currently trying to come in. He let's see if he responded to me. He has just a certain amount of time. Like it's 4 p.m. for him, and you can't do surveying from home, so he
does what?
You can't do surveying work from home. You actually have to go out to the field. I can write software from home. So
is that what he does?
Bev, you know what he does.
I don't know. No.
I want to focus.
Yeah.
Bev, he is a licensed geodetic surveyor in the state of Maine. So
no, I don't.
There you go.
You've just said that to me. He's never said that.
Oh, Bev, you're cute.
Sorry?
I said you're cute. I mean, I don't mean you're cute, right? But you're cute.
Well, do you not think he's never said that? He's never said that, Is it licensed geodesic surveyor? Yeah, no, he's never actually said that.
No, he's not a geodesic. He's a geodetic.
Okay, sweet. Yeah. What's the difference?
Survey. Geodetic is a word. Geodesic is not what.
Yeah, okay. What's the difference between that and a normal surveyor?
That is it. My goodness, my focus keeps going out. That is a normal surveyor. A geodetic surveyor is a normal surveyor. Okay. There is a subset of geodetic surveying that they call planar surveying, which they can't do, the geodetic parts of it because they're not, not qualified and trained. Difference?
What's the difference,
What's the
please?
difference?
Yeah.
The difference between a planar surveyor and a geodetic surveyor.
Yeah, to you.
So a planar surveyor can only work in a certain within a certain range because it is because if you get into a larger area, you have to take into account the curvature of the Earth.
What's that? What's that area?
I don't know offhand, but when
I heard
when
it was 100 square miles that planar surveyors do, and then anything over that is your other type of surveyors, right?
Yeah, it requires geodetic surveyors if you're over that amount.
Over 100.
But
so up to 100 square miles, that would be planar surveying, right?
Yeah, so it also depends on the margin of error necessary, right? So I suppose if they need a tighter margin of error, then you would not be able to do planar surveying up to 100 square miles. It'd be smaller depending on the needs.
Or you could just do geodetic surveying all the time and save yourself that trouble.
Oh, so there's no need for planar surveyors then? Is that what you just said?
No. You could save yourself the trouble of having to convert back and forth, worry about, do I do plane surveying here or do I do geodetic surveying here? Just do geodetic principles all the time and save yourself the problem.
So there is definitely a difference between these surveyors then, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what sort of tools would you say a geodetic surveyor uses instead of a normal, just an average surveyor?
I already said, Bev, a normal surveyor is a geodetic surveyor.
Okay. So an auto level then, what sort of tool would that be?
It's an auto level.
Which type of surveyor would use an auto level?
Any surveyor can use an auto level.
Okay, because it establishes a horizontal plane of reference, right?
It establishes a horizontal plane that you would make measurements from, and then you make curvature corrections as you need to.
Curvature corrections within the horizontal plane?
Curvature corrections to your measurements after the fact.
You make curvature corrections to your measurements?
Yes.
Oh. You not just sort of measure what you measure when you look through the scope?
You measure what you measure, you write that down, and then you apply corrections as necessary.
Okay, so when is it necessary for you to apply corrections? Because I've never heard of that.
Well, you can look at the
surveyor,
National
that's
Geodetic Surveyor. You can look at the National Geodetic Survey manual on geodetic leveling. It will tell you.
Okay, can you not tell us?
I'm sorry?
Can you not tell us?
What is it you want me to tell you?
When the corrections have to be applied? Because we've got a test, right? Is that what we're talking over tonight?
Yeah.
Go back to your question.
Test, don't wait. Go back to your first question, then don't segue to the other topic before he gets a chance to answer, though, right?
Right.
Let him answer. Yeah.
So, Bev, let's get the wordiness out of there. What is it you're asking me?
Which one? Well, McToon's sort of just saying with some other question. We were just talking, weren't we?
Before we get to your test, what do you want to ask?
I don't want to ask you anything. We were here to talk about the test, right?
No.
Or are we're just having a little chit chat? What are we here for, McToons, please? I know we've been very vague. Like you talked to Cleary earlier, and then we've been asking what we were meant to be doing here tonight, and you've not said anything. You've given us a link to this Zoom thing. I've clicked it, and now I'm here.
Excellent. Good job.
Right, so what's the format that we're going to be going over tonight?
It's an open format, but okay. I do have a couple things maybe that we could cover kind of in a little structure that might be kind of fun. So I don't know what Cleary's up to. He says that he's not having luck getting it on his phone. So I don't know. Maybe he needs to open some high IQ tabs. What do you think? I could send him some tabs.
You could send him some tabs.
I don't even know where he lives. He's in the U.S., I think. Let's go with that. So, all right. So I think the question Bev was asking was when or how do you apply curvature corrections when you're in the process of doing surveying work?
When you cover a certain distance, you need to start applying curvature corrections if to meet certain accuracy requirements for whatever the project might be.
So can you give an example of what a requirement might be, and then how you'd and what distance might be the right?
Well, actually, plane surveyors do account for curvature anyway in their elevations. So you always need to apply curvature corrections to your elevations. When you're using your theodolite or your total station and you're measuring those distances, you need to apply the 8 inches times the mile squared elevation correction. It's expressed a bit differently for surveying because you understand 8 inches times the mile square. We're mixing units there. We've got to have everything in the same units. So the correction becomes 0.024 times feet expressed in thousands. So a mile would be 5.28. And that's squared.
Okay, so that would be the curvature for a certain point, right? Of a imagined radius, right?
It's not imagined.
Right, so but there's many, isn't there?
Many what?
Different radiuses. Or radii, I don't know what you call it.
Right, so plural of radius is radii, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna punish you for saying radiuses.
You do have many, right? On your,
So Earth
your
is-
model.
The Earth is not a perfect sphere.
Yep.
It is spherical.
Mm-hmm.
It's sometimes called an ellipsoid in shape. And the 8 inches times the mile squared is plenty accurate enough for point to point of a control network.
Okay, so what is that 8 inches per mile squared then?
It's an elevation correction for curvature.
Okay, and that is everywhere?
In every direction.
Okay. So you saying when they have a tool like an auto level that establishes a horizontal, you say you need to establish a curvature correction, you say?
So in auto level, so differential leveling is a little bit different than trig leveling. So trig leveling is what you're doing with a theodolite or a total station. With differential leveling through an auto level, generally speaking, if you keep your fore sights and back sights equal in distance, you can get away with ignoring curvature correction over a short distance, but you should apply it when you're getting into longer and longer
Right, well,
distances.
What do you mean by longer distances? Do you mean like in your transitions? You know, like 30 feet or something. Oh, no, sorry, 100 feet, 30 meters, something like that. Like,
So
if you go above that.
I know that you're a huge fan of me saying I don't prefer going over 100 feet between the auto level and the level rod.
Yep, that's where you take your measurements, right? For anybody not.
I say that distance because that's my personal preference, because the rod gets harder to read the farther away it is from the auto level.
Yeah.
But I don't hold it against someone who can push those legs a little farther and achieve the accuracy that's required for the project that they're transferring the elevation for.
Well, when would you add your curvature correction into the known measured distances? Because you're going 30 feet, right, in between your transitions.
Well, that's an interesting question, Bev. So let's take I listened to you talking to Mr. Sensible the other day, and you said something about a mile along the canal. Let's just use a mile.
Can you make it fully right? Because although you may have heard me talking to Mr. Sensible, the other people listening, they might not have heard what I said to Mr. Sensible. So
Well, I'm not going to present your entire thesis for it, but you said that you were running a level run.
Are we
for about
talking?
a
Are we
mile.
talking about my test now, or are we still on that
I'm using it
initial
as
question?
I'm using your words with Mr. Sensible as an example.
Okay. So can we talk about the test in a minute then?
I would like to finish what I'm saying right
Okay.
now. So let's just say you have a level run going a mile. To determine if you are accurately transferring that elevation, you should also run the traverse down that canal with a total station.
No,
Trig
you just
level.
close the loop and go back to the beginning, right? That's what you do.
But you want to
Check.
and see that you've done correctly.
Yeah, you just do it
Your
multiple
elevation
times
transfer.
and return the loop to close the loop at the end, right?
Try it again with another piece of equipment.
Well,
Compare the two
yeah,
methods.
you could do it 100 times with the same piece of equipment as well, couldn't you?
And then-
Constantly getting more accurate every time. Try it with
Try it again.
different bits of equipment. Get different people to try it with different bits of equipment. Yeah.
And then try it again with sub-centimeter survey grade GPS.
You could try it with all sorts, couldn't you?
Compare all the methods.
Yep. To establish a horizontal.
That doesn't establish a horizontal.
No, that's what the surveying techniques would be doing, right? You would be establishing a horizontal frame of reference, right? That's what the surveyors do, right?
At that point where the auto level sits, that establishes a horizontal
No,
plane.
you take a
That is horizontal to
benchmark
that
from
vertical
one
of
end
that.
and you transverse it as a horizontal plane to make your benchmark at the other end, right? So you find a known benchmark and then you move that to an unknown to make the unknown known. Yeah?
Let's suppose you have a benchmark at one end of your mile,
Yep.
and let's just say the elevation is 100 feet, just for the sake of argument.
No. We're doing it at the side of a canal, like, so if we're talking about my test, like you were saying with Mr. Sensible. So it's at the side of a canal. Now everyone can imagine this. Well, don't know if everyone can imagine what the canals in the UK are like. But you know, everybody knows a stretch of water that's a steady body of water that they can imagine at the side of it, right? So we're banging a post in at the side of the canal. Let's say 1 meter, and we just put a mark on it.
A meter
random
from the
height.
canal, or a meter above the water.
Well, it doesn't really matter, does it? We're just
I'm-
banging a
is it
post in. We're putting a mark on it. That's it, and then we are going to say that is our mark. That's just the mark. What we're going to do, we're going to transfer that mark onto another post, one at half mile, and then one at the full mile again. So,
In that case, you are transferring an elevation. You're not transferring a horizontal line.
but that's the tools is a horizontal, right? The auto level that we're going to use to transfer that thing through differential leveling techniques, right? That would just transfer the horizontal mark from in the middle point and the end point, right?
You're transferring an elevation. You're not drawing a horizontal line.
Yeah, it's a horizontal.
From end to end, it is not horizontal.
Yes, it is.
No, from one end of the mile to the other end
So
is not a
are
horizontal
you
line.
saying an auto level would not establish a horizontal?
I'm saying that differential leveling techniques done properly will account for curvature automatically when you keep the foresight and the backsight relatively short and equal through the entire level run.
Right. Well, we are asking these people, these surveyors, to make a horizontal line, right? Particularly,
No.
we're not saying
surveyors to transfer
level,
elevation.
we're not saying curved, we're not saying anything. We are particularly saying a horizontal line of reference. You say
You're
that's not
asking
possible.
Surveyors to transfer elevation.
Sorry?
You're asking a surveyor to transfer an elevation when he
So
uses or she
what
uses
is your understanding of elevation then? Is it's a vertical distance above the mean sea level, right? Mean sea
It
level
doesn't have
being
to be
your
the mean sea
reference
level.
datum.
It could be any vertical datum you want. It could be a made-up datum if you want. If you wanted to say that
That's
the
like
ground
I
next
just
to the canal
said
was
that.
100
I
feet, you could do
put
that.
a make-up mark on the side of the post, right? And then you're saying, no, that's different in elevation. So I'm just establishing now the canal that has the water level within it at the side of where we've put this post has an elevation, right? Now that elevation, let's say it's 50 feet, right? It's 50 feet as a vertical distance above that mean sea level, right? That's what it is. It's established. They established the mean sea level at a place.
I don't know if it's above the mean sea level or not. It's just a number.
That's what they do in the UK. I mean, well, I can only speak for the UK.
What's the name of the datum that they use in the UK?
Sorry?
What's the name of the vertical datum they use in the UK?
It'd be the mean sea level, don't it? It's down at Newby
no, there's
now.
An actual,
it used
there's an
to
actual
be,
name.
It used
there's an
to
actual
be,
name for it.
Well, it's the 0 mark, right?
No, there's a name for the vertical
but that
datum
is
in
where
the UK.
they zero elevation.
No, Bev,
Okay.
there's a name for it. Could you tell us the name for it, please?
It's the datum, the 0 datum. The
there's a name
mean
for
sea
this.
level at Newby in the UK.
Let me give you an example. In the United States, they use NAVD 88. That's a common one.
That's your geoid, right? That's your geoid model. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the
Stop interrupting me and
mean
listen.
sea level.
Stop interrupting and listen, Bev. This is the vertical datum that's used in the United States. Okay. What's the name of the vertical datum that's used in the UK? Just one of them, maybe. There's probably a bunch.
No.
Okay, so you're talking without knowing what you're talking about.
I'm telling you, I can tell you where it is established and where it was established. It used to be in Liverpool. They've now moved it
I'll
to
look it
Newby.
up for you. I'll look it up, and then in the future you could actually be informed about it. But go ahead, you two keep going while I do this for you.
So, Bev, if you have
it's a vertical height above that datum, right? That 50
that's the
foot.
datum you're referencing.
Yeah.
If that's the datum you're referencing.
Well, when it says on the maps 50 feet, right, it means 50 feet elevation as a vertical distance above that mean sea level, right? That's what it means.
So you're trying to
I'm just
make a
getting you to
50-foot
confirm
elevation mark at the other end of the mile.
Elevation that you read on maps everywhere is a vertical distance above the mean sea level, which it would be a 0. That's your 0 datum, right? That's why it's 50 odd feet or 50 feet. It means 50 feet above the 0. They establish a 0 somewhere, right?
Yes.
And when you read elevation, it is a vertical height above that datum.
Right.
Okay, so elevation now, right? I say that's a horizontal. Right? Do you say that is a horizontal or not?
You're saying what
initial
what is
datum, the datum that you use is a horizontal datum.
No.
No. Okay, so when I see 50 feet elevation, I see it's a 50 feet vertical distance above a horizontal, because the vertical means you establish a horizontal, a flat base, and then measure perpendicularly from that horizontal to your other one, and that's where your line is, right? So
Bev, like I said before, the main surveyor is a surveyor, so you don't tell him what to do. It's best for you to just ask, how do you do it?
No, I'm not asking him what to do. I'm just
hold on,
telling
let me
you.
finish my sentence before you interject. Well, how about you ask him what they do, and then he can tell you what surveyors actually do.
He doesn't seem to know, though, McToons.
Oh, he absolutely does. You're very confused about it, though, and you're trying to interject what you imagine he does into it.
We're
So
on
you should
elevation
listen
now, then, right?
And learn. If you learn, then you might progress.
Have you given me enough time yet, or not?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. So are you going to answer that then? Elevation. It is a vertical height above the datum.
It's a height above the datum. I'll agree with that, but the datum is not horizontal in the ones that
it's a vertical height though, right? That's what you measure. When you measure with your measuring rod, you are measuring a vertical. It's no good if your wad's wandering about, right? Right? It has to be vertical, that, doesn't it? Whenever you look through an auto level or whatever over your 30 meters. Right, that measuring rod needs to be vertical, right?
The rod guy needs to be rocking the rod back and forth.
Yeah, and you take the minimum distance, right?
Correct.
And then you know that's in the vertical position.
Yes.
Right, okay. So that is a vertical elevation change when you have an elevation change, right?
You're reading you're reading the height of the crosshair above the ground where the rod is.
Brilliant. So we come back to the question that we initially started with, right? Is you imagine elevation to be a curve. I say it is a horizontal datum.
I don't actually imagine it to be a curve. It is a curve.
Okay, well, there's a difference then, right? There's a difference between a curve and a straight.
You mean a plane?
So Bev, I'm gonna save some time right now. I'm gonna ask you, what are your surveying textbooks that you had in your qualification class that you say
I don't know. I don't have the.
What surveying textbooks do you have in your house?
I don't have any surveying textbooks in my house. No.
Where are you getting?
You've put pictures of textbooks on Twitter in the past. Did you sell them or burn them?
Sorry,
I've seen pictures on Twitter that you posted of books that are in your house on surveying. Have you burned them because you didn't like them, or did you get rid of them since you put those pictures on?
Oh, you mean the geodetic survey?
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what he was asking about.
No, that's not a book on surveying, is it? It's not a textbook on surveying. Oh. Come on, Toons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bev, I have in front of me Elementary Surveying, 7th edition.
Brilliant.
And it says, datum, any level surface to which elevations are referred.
Mm-hmm.
For example, mean sea level. You're going to love this. Also called a datum plane.
I don't know. You broke up then. Did he break up for you as well?
Nope. He was perfectly clear to me.
Okay.
Why don't you say it again? No. He's going to say it again. This is good. You need to hear it.
Yeah. So datum, any level surface to which elevations are referred. For example, mean sea level. You're going to love this part. Listen up carefully. Also called a datum plane, though not actually a plane.
Okay. Fantastic.
And it has this nice graphic that goes with it that shows mean sea level as an example of a datum, and it shows it as an arc. You explain to me how an arc is horizontal, because you seem to think that mean sea level is horizontal. But here is a surveying textbook, Bev, that explains the principle on which surveyors actually operate every day. Explain that's a curve, explaining curvature corrections that must be used. And you are saying it means horizontal. You are wrong, Bev. That's not how surveying works.
Right. Well, you know my test. Have you seen that test yet? Can we get round to that?
You mean where you're transferring an elevation?
No, with the water level, right? The whole test, not just a little tiny bit of it. The whole thing.
So how have you established the difference between the results you'd expect on a sphere and on a planar horizontal water level that you think it is?
Like we were talking about before.
That's a good question.
Step one.
I have just a second, Bev. I think this is a great thing. What if you tell us what you expect, basically tell us the hypothesis. What do you expect to see if the Earth is flat? And then we can tell you what we'd expect to see if the Earth is a sphere. How about that? And we both because we both know our own models the best, right? So how about you tell us what do you
Not
expect
got a model,
if you
mate.
do your water level?
Not got a model.
You don't have a model?
No, I don't.
You have a
Yes,
model?
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
I have a
I know
model
that-
of my water level.
And that's a problem.
I have
know
a
that.
model
I
of
know
my
you don't
water
have a
level
model, and
test,
that's
right?
a problem. But so here's the deal. You tell me what you expect to see if the Earth is flat, and then we'll tell you what we expect to see if
The
the Earth is a
Earth
sphere.
isn't
So go ahead.
flat, McToon.
So,
So
There
say,
is
so say
topography.
you, but
Surveying, right, means that the Earth isn't flat. You measure topography. Ask your guy that's pretending to be a surveyor, right? That's not flat, is it?
Hold on. Let's be clear, Bev. Are you going to just say clearly right now that the main surveyor is lying about being a surveyor?
I'm going to
right
say
now?
that the surveyors would measure topography. Now that is
sorry.
a change.
Well, are you going to
in
say
elevation?
or stop saying that the main surveyor
I
is
don't know.
a
He'd
surveyor
have to
or
prove
not?
that he's a
Is
surveyor,
he
wouldn't
surveyor?
he? He would. In order for that, I
Well,
would need to know
let's
he
just
is a
ask him.
surveyor.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Main surveyor, are you a licensed geodetic surveyor in the state of Maine?
I am a licensed professional surveyor in the state of Maine.
Very good.
Okay.
Are you bound by any ethical code or anything of surveyors?
Oh, you like to ask that question, don't you?
It's the first time I've ever asked it, to be honest.
Actually, Bev, you've asked it to me on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. You never answered, did you?
I actually did answer, Bev.
I can't remember. Just remind us.
We have a standards of practice which we must follow.
Yep. Code of ethics, to be honest, to the public and represent your trade.
In Maine statute, it is called a standards of practice.
Okay. And you would be bound by that, right?
When performing my professional duties.
Okay. And are you performing your professional duties at the moment?
I am representing the profession of surveying at the moment as an individual.
Okay. Fantastic. So, when we do our test and we establish, first of all, step one would be to establish a horizontal line. Now, can surveyors do that? Over
We
a
could
mile.
establish, so listen, we could establish a horizontal line.
Yep.
The ground will tend to drop away underneath that horizontal line eventually, assuming that the topography is consistent.
Okay. So
like
wait,
You know,
over
like say
water,
along
for
your
example.
like along your canal, yeah, along
Okay.
your canal. If we were to establish a horizontal line at one end and make that horizontal line stay horizontal to that point where it began, then the ground will drop away underneath it eventually.
okay. So we establish that horizontal and we make it go past the half-mile mark and all the way to a mile mark. So we have one horizontal line across 3 posts. Can a surveyor do that?
If that's what you want the surveyor to establish, the surveyor could establish that, but
Brilliant.
it's not the same as transferring an elevation.
Brilliant. But
Those are two
that
different
can be
things.
done, right? So that can be done. So we can have 3 posts, one at a mile, one at a half mile, and one at the other end, right? With
They'll
all
all be
with
different-
marks
they'll all be
on
diff-
them
they'll-
that will be
they'll
on the
all-
same horizontal.
But different elevation.
Well, just the same horizontal, right? That's all we're
But
interested
different.
in.
But the elevation would have to
But
be different.
yeah, I don't know whether they'd be bothered about the keeping telling me that we were a different elevation or anything. So it can be done. They can put 3 marks on them posts, right?
They'll all be a different elevation.
Well, they would be on a horizontal though. That's all we're bothered about, right?
The surface of the Earth is curved. Therefore,
Well, you
50
can
feet at
have
the
a
beginning
horizontal though, can't you?
will not be 50 feet at the end of the mile.
You can have a horizontal though. That it is possible for surveyors to establish a horizontal over a mile
Why would you want the surveyor to do that?
because that's part of the test.
What are you testing in your test?
We just the level and horizontal, right? Is there a connection
Oh,
between the two?
you're testing definitions. That's
No,
not
no,
how
no.
we test definitions.
No, this is a
You
practical
start
test,
with the
right?
you
It's
start
a
with the right definition first.
Practical, this is a practical test. In reality, we've just established that surveyors, like your profession, supposedly, right? Your friends can establish a horizontal over a 1 mile distance.
Bev, do you think that 50 feet in elevation at the start of the mile is going to be 50 feet and horizontal at the end of the mile?
Do I think that?
I'm asking you that.
Yeah, I probably do. Yeah, let's say yes. I imagine that if there is no change in elevation, that means it is a horizontal. Yes, that's what I imagine. Or, in fact, I know it.
So
you know it.
Yeah. The test.
Let's
Can we go back to the test, or are you scared of it
let
yet?
Let me do this, Bev. Let me explain, and you you listen. Get your ears up here. The wolf. The ears are up. The mouth is shut. Okay. At a point
very nice. Gang
on the
signs.
surface. No, that's a wolf.
Oh right, is that wolf
Mouth-
pack? Are you
mouth
bringing
shut.
the wolf pack out in your chat?
Mouth shut. The mouth is shut. Ears are up. Okay.
Is that what the wolves do?
On the surface of a sphere,
Okay.
you can the plane
The
that is
three-dimensional
orthogonal,
surface of a sphere.
the plane that is orthogonal to the plumb line is level at that point of the plumb line. Okay, that horizontal plane is a unique
sphere.
Yes, honestly, that was the first thing I said.
Yeah.
Mouth shut, ears up. Okay. So
standing
I'll
on
back
the
it
ball.
up again. I'll back it up again, right? And then I'll explain it again since you missed the first thing. On the surface of a sphere, the plane that is orthogonal to the plumb line is horizontal. That plane is unique for every single point on the sphere. All right. So horizontal is a plane, level is the curved surface. Right? Now, what is can you talk about level and horizontal on a flat surface? I'll let you explain that since it's your claim.
No, we talk about my test, and we've established a horizontal, right?
No. We're just covering the math, the geometry part of it here.
Okay.
And so, what is your
Which sort of geometry
your
we using?
understanding of?
We're using Euclidean geometry.
We're using geometry.
Euclidean
so
geometry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
What would you expect to see on the surface of a flat surface? What's orthogonal to the plumb line?
I mean perpendicular.
Orthogonal is a 3-dimensional. Perpendicular is 2-dimensional.
Perpendicular is 3-dimensional, right?
Say that again.
Perpendicular is 3-dimensional, right?
Orthogonal is 3-dimensional.
No, perpendicular is 3-dimensional. So when you say perpendicular, the definition of that would come from Euclidean geometry, right?
Okay, so get to it. I'm listening.
So it's defined within Euclidean geometry, and that is 2 straight lines. So you would say that the plumb line is a vertical, and the right angle to it is horizontal, right? Perpendicular to the vertical is horizontal. But your sort of orthogonal works the same as well, doesn't it? Same thing.
Are vertical and horizontal defined in Euclid's book there?
They're defined as being perpendicular, right?
Excuse me, I'm asking. Are the words vertical and horizontal
No.
defined?
But they are defined as being perpendicular. Now that is definitely Euclidean definition. 2 straight lines, perpendicular.
Bev, would you be interested to know what the definition of a level surface is in surveying?
You'll probably tell me, but I mean, go back to the test, right? The test would have a horizontal. We'd have 3 points on 3 posts that are marked as horizontal. Then what we do is the next part, right, is really easy. you just get some hose pipe, right? And you lay it down by the side of these posts. Yeah, that's easy enough, right?
I'm listening.
And we put vials on the end of them, so we effectively turn this water level big long tube. That we'll put a T-junction in the middle of it as well, so we can put it up against each of these posts with the vial, strap them around it, and then we can fill that water level up, can't we?
So are you establishing a horizontal line across that distance, horizontal to the beginning, or are you establishing an elevation, the same elevation?
The surveyors did the horizontal at the beginning, right? They made 3 marks that were horizontal on 3 posts. They did that.
Who's they?
The surveyors that established the horizontal. That's what we just decided before, right? You remember?
So you're gonna hire some surveyors to come do this?
Yeah, why not? Like
Okay,
professionals.
So you're gonna put in
Yeah.
3 posts, and you're gonna say, okay, start at this post, and I want you to use a horizontal plane.
Yeah.
And mark with the horizontal plane that's perpendicular to the plumb line, right?
Yep.
Or orthogonal is the better word.
Yep.
So from post
Establish
1,
that horizontal
post
all
2,
the way across.
to post 3, right?
No,
So,
a
all right, so-
horizontal. I'm saying horizontal. The same
yes.
horizontal.
So
right?
Now, are you saying horizontal, or are you saying you want the same elevation at each thing to the
Yeah,
surveyors
that's
that
the-
you're
Do you
hiring?
want me to just say it again? I will confirm. We want a horizontal, right? That is
So you're accounting
a
for curvature then.
straight line.
A flat plane. Okay, so when you do that, if you say those words to the surveyors and don't try to confuse them by telling them you want elevation,
I'm not going to confuse
then-
anybody.
then-
Do you think
then
surveyors
you're gonna
would be
have-
confused?
Oh, by you, absolutely, because yeah. So what's going to happen then is you put your mark right here, right? You got the pen. You put your mark on the first one. Here's what the surveyors are going to do. You go to the next one. It's going to be higher.
What, the horizontal
You go to
will
the
be higher?
Yeah, you go to the final one. It's going to be even higher
but
still.
No, we're just doing a
Absolutely.
horizontal. What do you mean higher? How can it be higher?
Because-
higher than what?
Because the surface higher in relation to the canal that it's next to, right? So you're going to go and you're going to
Oh
measure.
no, we do. See,
off
forget
top
about the
of
canal.
water.
Forget about the canal. We are just
No, but you're doing it next to a
establishing
canal for
a
a reason.
horizontal, right?
Yeah, and according to every surveyor in the world, the first one you'll have a certain elevation. The next one, the elevation is going to be higher for that.
So when we come back
horizontal
again,
plane.
what would happen when we come back again to check the horizontal? Right?
You were saying they.
Well, I can do this after them, can't I?
Are you
saying I can't have a go at this? Me and my lads, we're not allowed to.
Trying
have a
to
go?
make sure you get your pronouns right. Is it they, or are you part of this? We doing this measuring?
I will
Are you
definitely
considering
be
yourself
measuring this. Well, yeah, me and the lads, we're
So
going to be
after
doing
after you-
surveying. Yes, we have an auto
you're-
level. We do this sort of stuff. Yes. So,
You're
but
not
let's
gonna be
say
doing
the
the surveying.
surveyors, right? The surveyors are establishing a horizontal. Now they establish it all the way across from one end to the other, and then they go
You asked-
back again to make
I need
sure it
clarification
is
here.
all the same horizontal.
I need clarification here. I want to make sure I'm not assuming anything about what you're doing. You asked a professional surveyor to establish a horizontal line across a mile. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, on the posts. I've explained it just like I've explained it to you. 3 posts.
And the surveyor is not just going to transfer the same elevation across the mile. You're asking them to transfer a horizontal line across a mile.
They've never been like you are at the minute. You seem to be a different sort of surveyor than we've ever encountered before. Are you sure? Are you sure that's correct? Right, because surveyors can establish a horizontal, right? You seem to be struggling to understand that.
Why would you
surveyors-
want them to, Bev?
Because
Why would you want them to?
Why would I want them to establish a horizontal? Why would I want the surveyors to use a tool to establish a horizontal over a mile? because I've got a test, a water level test, right? And
you're designing it to be inconclusive or to be a total failure.
All we've done is establish so far that we've got 3 marks on a post that are horizontal. Now we've laid some water levels at the side of it, and you've gone all funny, and now we're going back to you don't seem to think you can do horizontal. Establish a horizontal anymore.
Bev, you're confused because you think that you could measure to prove a definition when you're using the wrong procedure to find out if the water is curving or not.
Sorry,
yeah, that's that
curving.
What? Yeah,
Isn't that what you want to know, Bev?
People have measured the surface of water to be curved.
Who
already?
Who is that?
Well, the person you're talking to, not me. The other guy you're talking to right now has done that.
Yeah.
Oh, he's measured the curvature of the water level.
Of the water.
So Bev, we're not going to play the game
water
of
level, right?
whether you're talking about the water level device
just a second
or the surface of water, because that's nonsense.
What do you mean?
You know exactly what I mean.
Well,
you like the word games.
You know, Jesse said the other day, right, that the water level is measurably, it drops away from horizontal. Right?
Yes.
Okay, so surveyors can establish a horizontal, right?
But why would you want them to?
We might be checking what Jesse said, right? Because Jesse says it's measurable, right? So let's establish a horizontal. Now, can surveyors, professional surveyors, the ones that actually get paid to do a job, right? Can they establish a horizontal line over a mile?
We can. Why would you want us to?
Brilliant. So you could make 3 marks on these posts that are all on the same horizontal, right?
Those marks would be the projection of the horizontal line at one end of your mile, and they would be at different elevations.
Okay, so you couldn't do the same on the way back again then, is that what you're saying?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying a horizontal line and the elevation are two different
right. So
things.
So if we go along this line and set a horizontal, and obviously when you are surveying, right, you have to close your loop to make sure you're for accuracy and error checks, right? So you close your loop and you want to establish a horizontal back again, right? Because it's a tool to establish a horizontal, right? That's what the tool is. An auto level, right? So you establish a horizontal one way, and then you come back to close your loop and establish a horizontal back again. Now, would you be getting like somewhere near 0? Or hopefully to be getting like somewhere near like a millimeter? I would, hopefully, anyway. What about you?
Millimeter.
Well, Bev, there is a difference between reading to the nearest millimeter and being millimeter accurate.
Nice obfuscation. What about the closing the loop question on the horizontal?
Oh yeah, you need to run the both directions.
Okay, so then we would check.
Differential leveling.
Yeah, we'd check then, wouldn't we? And we'd have 3 marks on these 3 posts, all on the same horizontal, right?
Bev, I'm not sure why you want to establish a horizontal line over a mile.
Can be done though, can't it?
You really want to just transfer the same elevation across the miles. What you want to do? They're two different things.
No, it's a horizontal, right? We want to establish a horizontal. Yes, that's
I
definitely. We want the surveyors to establish a horizontal.
I keep asking you why you want to establish a horizontal over a mile. Because you really want to be transferring an elevation because Earth's surface is curved. You're testing to see if it's curved. You're going to have to start out with the same elevation at all 3 points. Not a horizontal line, it's horizontal in the beginning.
We need to be able to check that the water level surface, the one that Jesse Kozlowski, is he your mentor? Jesse?
Yeah, Jesse and Larry Scott are both my mentors, absolutely.
Okay, so Jesse says
we all
that
need
the
someone who has more
water
experience
level
to talk to.
can drop be measured dropping from horizontal. So I'm just getting to check that a surveyor can establish a horizontal over a mile. Then we can do is we put water levels up against these marks, this horizontal, and then we can fill it up.
And what do you expect to see?
Well, what would you expect to see? Because Jesse says it
No.
measurably drops away from the horizontal.
I need you to tell me what your prediction is.
I
Don't make me explain your test
I would
for you.
predict the water level being a tool that establishes a horizontal plane of reference would be exactly the same. In fact, I would say and hope that the water level would be more accurate than the auto level.
Do you think that these horizontal marks will be the same elevation across the mile?
We'd ask the surveyors to do it, so yeah, I would hope so. Are you saying once again that you don't think the surveyors could establish a horizontal?
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I'm saying a horizontal and a consistent elevation are two different things.
So you keep saying
if you're extending a horizontal from the beginning of the mile, taking that line and extending it in the same orientation all the way down this mile, that's going to be different. That's going to be different.
It'd be a straight line, right?
The elevation at the beginning and the end.
A straight line.
Do you have a section of canal that is straight?
What,
for a mile?
We have it in between locks?
I didn't ask that. I asked, do you have a mile of straight canal?
Well, yeah, why? What do you need a mile of straight canal for?
That you said that you have a straight mile of canal.
No,
so
I
I'm
didn't.
asking
So
you.
I'm asking you why we need a mile of straight. We've got 27 miles in between locks, right? So that would be the same.
Ben, it's your test. It's your test. You tell me.
What am I telling you?
Don't make me explain your test to you. You explain your test to me.
Okay. So what we do is we get surveyors to come and establish 3 marks on 3 posts. One at the beginning, one at the half-mile mark, and one at the mile mark.
Yes, we've
We get
been
them
over that.
to establish a horizontal line on each of those posts, the same horizontal, right? Because it's definitely doable, that, isn't it, for surveyors?
So all right. To be clear, which
Professionals.
because which horizontal are you going to go at? Because the horizontal point at the first marker, the middle marker.
Yeah.
Sorry, one of the edges or the middle one? Is it going to be the horizontal plane starting?
The horizontal. Well,
Yeah, which one is it?
It's
Is
a
it gonna be
plane, right?
reference
It's
to
the same horizontal,
one-
isn't it?
This is a simple question. There's three posts. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And there's a mile
There's
between.
a horizontal
half mile
all
between-
the way across. The
There's-
same horizontal all the way across.
There's the first one, the second one, the third one.
Yep.
There is the horizontal plane is for one of them. Which one?
What do you mean
1, 2,
the
or
horizontal
3?
plane's only for one?
Yeah.
No.
So when
the
you
horizontal
give
plane will go
instructions-
through all 3.
Yes, of
I'll make
course. Now,
sure
when
the
you
surveyors
give
know that.
instructions-
The same
when you give instructions-
horizontal
hold on.
plane, yes.
Yes, when you give instructions to the surveyors,
Yep.
they're going to want to know which horizontal plane you want. The
No,
first
they're
one, the
not.
second one, or the third one.
No, they're not.
Of course they are. That's what they're going to
No,
do.
only
They're going to say
only
you want-
people
you
with
want
a
horizontal
model
plane.
that think like that. Think like you.
They
think
want-
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you selected the surveying company that you're going to hire yet? What's the name
No.
of the company?
No.
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 You're not.
No,
you
I've
haven't
not.
yet.
No.
Have you been like asking them and interviewing potential surveying companies? Yet?
Yeah,
And
we've
getting
been
prices on them?
looking around at surveying companies. Yes, we have. Yeah.
Okay, and what?
We've
so
got a
what's the
special man on the
expected-
job, and he's
What's the
very good
expected
at it.
budget? What's the expected budget you're going to have to spend?
What
on
to
that?
anybody?
To the professional
Yeah.
surveying company that you're going to hire to do this?
Yeah, we do this for nothing. We don't ask anybody for any PayPal donations.
No,
or
I'm not
anything like
asking
that.
what you're asking. I'm asking what you're expecting to pay, because a professional surveying company is going to charge you money. So
Yes.
what do you think they're going to charge you for this service?
For the service of establishing a horizontal. There,
It's just the service. They provide a service.
put
How
in-
much are you expecting to pay for them to do this service for you?
I haven't got a clue yet. How much would you? Ask Jeff. Jeff, how much would you charge for establishing?
I don't know what the going rate is in
Oh, how much would
Britain.
you charge
Ma-
for your
maybe-
going rate?
maybe in-
If it, say it
maybe
was
in
somebody in down the street that wanted to do it.
I'm not sure. If it was a
How-
flat earther or oh wait, you're not a flat earther.
No, not
You're
a flat
a-
earther. You
you're
have
a-
different
you're a-
charges, do you? Within your
a topographic earther.
You're a universal horizontal waterer.
Nice accent. I could not tell the difference. I thought Bev said that actually.
just call
I'm
us
just
a
trying-
leveler. That'll do, right?
I'm just no, because you got the
It-
definition of level wrong.
In the live chat, people, do you like
How
do you
much?
like the main
How much would you charge,
or do you
Jeff?
like
Come on.
Bev's accent better? Just go ahead and tell us that in the live chat. So, how many hours do you think it would take you? Because you'd have to have a couple people, right? And you'd need to go back and forth between the half mile and the 1 mile away.
Yeah.
A little bit. So probably you'd set up somebody with a theodolite on the first post. You'd send somebody a half mile away, and then you'd communicate with them to put a mark
No.
on.
Do you not
that
know
one.
how to do differential leveling?
I'm asking the main surveyor
All right.
what
okay.
what he might do. I'm
Oh yeah,
throwing
please,
out
please,
some
Jeff, tell
spitballs
us how
here.
you
So
do it. Like then you'll give us an idea how much it'd cost.
So, Bev, the thing that is, you're not going to tell the surveyor what tools to use.
No,
You
we're
tell
not.
the surveyor what they
Yeah.
need, and the surveyor decides what tools they're going to use. I
Well,
can't
no,
make the
well.
determination of what it would cost, but it might be at least a day in the field, establishing elevations, then do some calculations, come back another day, and make the marks that you want.
Wow. All
yeah,
right.
these are professionals.
2
you
days
know,
work then, Jeff. How much do you charge for that? 2 days.
Oh, I'm not,
You and your lad, obviously, the stick carrier.
What's the
I'm
the
far
going?
I'm far too expensive for you to hire me, Bev.
How
What's the
much
going
would you
rate
charge for
in
the
a-
ultra
I'll
high
look-
class people that you do work for?
I'll look it up here. I'll look it up here for you, Bev.
Why don't you tell us, Jeff? What's up?
Because I haven't priced the job.
Well, have a quick price of it. Go on. Give us how much
so
you would charge a
two-
normal person, and how much you would charge a flat
so-
earther.
So 2 days.
Are you a flat earther then? Is that what you're saying?
No. He said he'd charge flat earthers different prices.
So
It was
yeah,
a
Bev,
joke.
I have done pricing for software development. So I have a little bit of a background. You figure out how much time it is, and then
you
you
know.
figure out your going rate. It's not that hard. So you got a day of book work and a day in the field for 2 people. So you got about 3 days worth of work, right?
a day of book work.
So maybe 3
Somewhere around-
3 days times 8, right? So what's 3 times 8, Bev?
Pardon?
That's wrong. It's
Okay,
24.
24?
3.
Yeah,
Yeah, there
that's
you
how,
go. Good
that's
job.
how much the
Second
difference
try.
in
Okay, so
drop is. on
I'm
the,
just gonna
Ballers
guess.
Canal.
I'm just gonna guess. $150 an hour is maybe a going rate for a professional service like that.
Wow,
So
sounds profitable, Jeff.
$1,200 would be what you might expect to pay
for Jeff
for that.
to put 3
For a-
horizontal marks
for
on 3
a
posts.
professional. Well, a professional surveyor needs to have a certain level of a quality that's guaranteed. They're not just going to come out there and start spitballing stuff and guessing at things, right? They're going to come out there and they're going to do a good job, and they're going to make sure it's a good job. And if you complain, then they're going to send somebody back to fix it because they're going to make sure they get it right.
Okay. So we've got normally they say that it'd be quicker to just do a GPS, right? But they say that GPS would be maybe 2 inches off.
GPS does not give you level.
It's not
Or,
accurate.
sorry, a
It's not-
horizontal.
yeah, it's
it
not
doesn't
accurate.
does not give you a horizontal plane. GPS gives you elevation, which are distinct.
Yeah, but we're doing an elevation right through horizontal, right?
Well,
That's-
elevation and horizontal are different.
Yeah, but we're asking surveyors to establish, right, a horizontal.
Yes.
We're particularly, and now they do say that they can bring the GPS system, right? But it's not that accurate,
Oh, I
right?
wouldn't say that.
Is that right? How accurate could you make it then, Jeff, with your GPS
So it
system?
depends. It depends on the length of time you have your setup. It depends on how many satellites you have. It depends on where the satellites are in the sky.
You have to have satellites.
Oh,
Yeah, that's how
for heaven's
GPS works.
sakes.
Do you order them in? Would that be a cost process, right? Or
It's how
would
many
you
satellites-
just be charging somebody $1,000 to do this job when you could actually come and do it with a GPS and to go blip blip and do it a lot quicker?
Golden
Bev.
Brisket just checked my work. You're right. It's not $1,200.
Bev, I can't retask satellites. You have to plan ahead of time.
Okay, fantastic. So,
Yeah.
how
So
much would
the
you
way-
charge
the way-
then,
well,
Jeff, for doing this?
Let's back up. 3,600 was mine. I got the math wrong. So Bev, let me just back up a little bit.
Three and a half grand.
Let me back up for you here, Bev.
Wow,
'cause
they
you
must
seem
be coining it in.
confused. Shh. You seem confused.
3
about
marks
how
on
this
3
works.
posts.
Yes, so you seem confused about how this works. So let's see. Oh, I think Jeff. We have
still
George Natchik in here twice.
Oh no!
And
not
yeah,
them nuts, Zach.
if you need to go, I know you had something.
Yeah.
Tap
so-
out.
I'm just
You're
gonna-
not
I'm gonna stick
tapping
around
out,
for-
Jeff. Come on.
Bev, I have other commitments in my life.
Okay.
So Bev, the Earth is spherical. It's
which
measurable.
geometry
I've-
do you
I've
use, Jeff,
measured it.
before you go? When you do
I
your
use
surveying? Which geometry?
Surveying geometry.
Oh
Bev.
wow, who did that? Is that
What?
Is that a branch of Fight the Flat Earth geometry?
Oh, I know how much you like him.
He can't go without talking about that. I mean, I could invite
He
him
does
in.
make up geometry, and all of you lot parrot it, right?
No, Bev.
Yeah,
I
oh,
told
yeah.
you I have surveying textbooks. I have surveying textbooks that
Okay.
explain the geometry involved in surveying. And you can test it yourself and see if it works out in the field or not. Like, the divergence of plumb lines. That's a pretty important thing to understand.
How much do you charge for
especially
that?
for your test. Oh, Bev, all the work that I've done on YouTube, that's all been at my own time that I've donated to educating
Oh, right.
people
how
that are
much
confused
How
about
much would you normally cost
water.
it then?
I have no idea because I haven't
sounds
quantified it all,
profitable.
Bev.
So Bev, I think you maybe because you don't, you're not employed in a professional field, you probably don't know how this works, but there's businesses that charge an hourly rate.
Yeah.
And that's very much independent of what the actual
Yeah, it's pretty
employee
demeaning,
gets.
that. Toon's right.
A lot of the time,
What are you
a lot of
talking
the
to?
time,
Who do you think you're talking to?
Well, I know that you're not a professional. You don't work in a professional career where you work and your time is billed out. I know that. Is that correct? Or
You mean
did
I'm
you
a
get a new-
yes?
Did
Yes,
you get a new
I
job
am
since
a carer for my family. Yes, McToons,
Okay,
I
so
am.
do you?
Yes, I
you
was. I
Do you
was
bill hourly?
a joiner. Yes, I was a professional joiner. Right, I got
Okay.
paid for that, and then I
Okay.
went to
And so-
college and did a technical building
Excellent.
course.
Okay, so
right, for
here's-
2 years.
so-
where we
Yeah, here's
did
a good question then
surveying
for
and
some-
land surveying.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
2
so
years
here's a
I
little-
was doing all of this.
Listen up here for
training,
a second. I have a
McToons,
clarifying
training
question.
with the
A
qualifications
clarifying question
within
for you.
surveying.
Yes. When
So I find
when,
it a bit demeaning for you to
yes,
have
yes.
a go
Now-
at being
now listen-
professional. I know what
Yes,
it's like.
yes,
Unfortunately,
yes, listen up.
I'm a carer
you-
now. I can't.
Can you zip it for a minute
work
so that I can explain
professionally,
how these things work?
McToons.
Ev.
Okay.
Here's how it works.
Yeah.
The company charges an hourly rate. That is not typically directly paid in any proportion to the employee. All of the employees in a certain category might have their hours billed at the same rate, but the individual employees make whatever they make. Maybe it's salary, maybe it's hourly.
Yes, I know.
depends
I
on
know.
the company,
People
right?
make money
So-
for doing their job. Yes.
Exactly, but it's not directly proportional. So if a company charges $150 an hour, the employee might be salaried,
Okay.
or they might get an hourly rate of
So,
30,
okay.
50, 75. I don't know, right?
So
But
that would
it's
bring
not
this
100.
initial
So
test
whatever
into account then, right?
whatever the main surveyor
Yeah.
his time that is billed professionally out is not a 1-to-1 ratio to
That's
his
right,
income.
that's
Spreading
right.
it out. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Bev, I make far less than I bill hourly.
Okay, fantastic. How much would you charge to put 3 marks on 3
Because we
posts
have-
over a mile?
Well, we have some
Technical
connectivity issues here with. So
I don't know, Bev. So, still getting me?
I didn't hear
you're
anything.
kind of cutting out there. So we have just as an example, Geistview talks about his he does
hear
drone
me?
work. Yeah, it's kind of rough there.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to get going anyway. Bev, it's been a
Okay.
pleasure. Thank you very much, MC Toon. I've had a lot of fun, and I will talk to you guys later.
Yeah, it's a shame you
right,
didn't really
thank
tell
you.
us too much about your profession, so-called
All right.
profession.
So here's we got George Natchik in. This is the first time I've had George on. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, this
Hey,
is
hi
going to
there,
go well.
Toon.
Hey, George.
Hey there, Bev.
Got a-
Is my audio
got a-
coming through okay?
Yeah, you sound good.
Yeah. Sorry I missed you when I was on my way back through the cities from Colorado. I ended up passing through Minneapolis about 3 a.m. I figured it wouldn't be wise to give
Oh
you a
man,
call.
I'd pop out for you at 3 a.m. That's all right. That's all right. So you're back up in northern Minnesota there.
That is correct. Yep.
Yep. We might go.
Yeah,
We might go camping in northern Minnesota this weekend. So
Oh, where?
I don't think we'll get far enough north. We don't
Yeah.
even know. We're just
Yeah.
right now. It's still just an idea. So
Sure. Yeah, the colors are peaked out right now.
Ooh, that
So,
sounds good.
Yeah, you might want to try at least the North Shore drive out of Duluth. That's always a
Yeah.
real nice drive this time of year.
Yeah, that's a nice spot. So all right. Let's see. How about I got a couple super chats here, if you don't mind a second
Yeah, go
here,
ahead.
Bev. I'll try to go through them here quickly, and I don't think a whole lot of them are addressing you, Bev, but maybe they will. You could have a little response. So we got N space DH is a new member. Thank you very much. And he already gets to use the fancy icons. So all right, Lael is here for $2. Says, how many nuh-uhs will we be able to count today? I don't think we have a nuh-uh yet. We have a lot of levels and horizontals.
You've not heard
the
George start
Athens-
yet.
The Athens 619 for $5 says, Bev is a Poe. Your camera has more focus than all for $5 says, Bev, are you a Poe?
What's a Poe?
Poe would be somebody that does it for pretend.
So it's what am I doing for pretend? I'm not pretending. This is a real test, right?
Okay, I don't think you're a Poe. I don't. I try not to have Poes on. So, Jess, who no longer has the Ika-G on the back, for $5 says, try the hot new Bev action figure. It says his 3 favorite phrases. I see where you're struggling. Water level. I'm sorry, I can't do that accent. And level is horizontal. Did that come out New Yorkish? I think it maybe did. Svein. Ooh, that sounds Northern European. Svein Argimson is a new member as well. Thank you very much. Bella Charge for 2 New Zealand says, what up, fuckers? Flat Earth Fokker, I've been talking to him. He's coming up maybe in a month. He's going on vacation again. So Jess for $2 says, Bev, the sanitation engineer explaining surveying. Ooh, a sanitation engineer. Did you get a promotion?
Oh, that's nice.
Late-
Yeah, I'm a
Lael
carer, right?
Okay.
Was that a joke? A sanitation engineer?
I think that was from Jess.
Okay.
Yeah, so
You,
could
were
take that
laughing.
for her.
Thought that was very mature of you there,
It's
Toons.
a good one.
Yeah.
So, all right, Lael is here for $5. Says the main surveyor. When we talking about surveying tools, what does a horizontal plane mean? And so now he's not here anymore. Maybe George can answer. What does a horizontal plane mean?
Has George got some surveying qualifications? George, do you have any surveying qualifications?
Enough for this discussion.
What are they then?
I am not a professional surveyor.
Okay.
I am a professional engineer licensed in the state of Colorado.
Surveying
And I
qualifications was the question, George.
Hey, don't interrupt
I'm
him,
going through
please.
it, if you'd let me finish, is I have studied surveying techniques under David Zenk, who is the mid-plains geodetic surveying advisor for the National Geodetic Surveyors in the United States. So my qualifications are probably every bit as good, if not more, than what you have, Bev.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. So what is a horizontal plane? And George.
You want to get into that? Well, horizontal plane is just, well, first let's define plane. Plane would be a surface such as like with a sheet of plywood, let's say, where all points do not deviate from a straight line. All lines defined on a plane would be straight lines. So a horizontal plane would be one that
contains all the
surface
straight
that
lines.
you're talking about. Like if you want to talk about the Earth, where you have a curved surface, I could bring up some graphics to show some of this a lot easier.
No, we're talking just a plane within mathematics, right, George?
Okay,
yeah,
I just described a plane. A plane is a surface that has no curvature to it whatsoever. Okay. All points on a plane lie on straight lines.
Yeah, that which has only length and breadth within Euclidean geometry, right? Calls it a superficies,
well, length and breadth
shout out
can mean many
superficies.
things in general. I mean, you have to be more specific than that. But yeah,
no, that
a plane is a two-dimensional.
Definition
a plane
number
is
5.
a two-dimensional flat surface. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Euclidean geometry, definition number 5, book 1. A superficies is that which has only length and breadth.
All right. A plane is a collection of points that lie on
it's
a
not
flat,
it's not a competition.
two-dimensional surface.
We agreed, George. I was just giving you the Euclidean definition.
What? Next
All right. Well, let me finish here. Bella Charge says, why is Bev using feet in England when he lives with the metric system? Right? Would it not be in meters? So Bev, in your measurements, are you going to do it in
which measurements?
Imperial units.
Talking about
when you do your test that you want to do, is it going to be in imperial units, metric units, or Scottish sheep units? My vote is Scottish sheep units.
I have a measuring rod. Can you see it? It's on my camera. That one. That one. Right. Centimeters. All right for you. Millimeters.
You could have just said. You could have just said metric.
Yeah. What's your sheet
metric.
one? Show us the sheet one. What was that?
So
is that a joke?
It's the official unit of Scotland. Do you not know that? Yeah, you can. I have a reference on my website, mctoon.net/sheet.
Is that the Scottish reference? Is it? Nice.
Scottish. Yes. If it's not Scottish, it's crap. So, all right. Metric is the answer there for you, Bella Charge. Syed Ahmad for $5 says, "I have a question for Bev. Right? You don't like left right. You get confused with surveying, right? Am I Bev and I make things up, right?"
Is that a question? But go on. Can you translate it for us?
You don't like the left, right? Let's get confused with surveying, right? I am Bev and I make things up, right? That's what he said there. So, yeah,
well, unless he is called Bev. Other than that, he's correct. He's making shit up, you know.
Yeah. All right. So, Sir Pick a Pup the Benevolent, pretty nice there, £5. So it looks like he's Sir
coining
is in the UK. Says, may I apologize on behalf of UK people, please. Don't use Bev as a datum for our country. Well, that's a good one. Sleepy Dan says why
What,
don't
how
why
much?
don't-
Did he pay you £5 to say that?
he did.
Wow!
pickup.
Well, look at this smile on your
nice.
face. I'm not surprised. Look at that. Yeah.
Man.
Wow.
big
There's
time.
some. Do you even know what he
is that-
said or what he meant by it? Or like,
He said, may I apologize on behalf of the UK. Please don't use Bev as a datum for our country.
okay,
So apology accepted.
okay, nice.
Sleepy
Is there
Dan for
a-
$2 says, why don't flat earthers have a code of ethics? That's a good one. How come,
I don't know. Like who? Where are
like-
these?
like,
flat
for
earthers,
example,
right?
let's-
Because the Earth is
let's-
got topography, right? We'll deal
Yeah,
with that,
yeah.
shouldn't we?
yeah. So
So it's
do you
not
think
flat,
that-
right?
Do you think it's a sphere?
You know what flat is? Flat is a two-dimensional surface, and topography.
Do you think the Earth is a sphere?
Pardon?
Do you think the Earth is spherical, Bev?
Do you think the Earth is spherical?
Do you think the Earth is
Do
spherical, Bev?
you
I'm
think
asking
the
you a
Earth is
simple
spherical,
question.
McToons?
Why won't you answer a simple yes no question?
I'm just
I
asking
think
you.
we all know.
Do you think it's spherical?
right. Of course it is. Now, what's your answer?
Spherical, with it like a sphere?
Oh, your answer is spherical.
No,
Excellent.
no. You think it's like a sphere, do you?
It has been measured to be spherical.
Oh, a radius.
Mm-hmm.
Right. A radius is at the center of a sphere, right, or a circle.
Yes. I said spherical, right?
Yeah, yeah.
If you're going to be more particular, it's
Yeah.
it's an ellipsoid.
Okay. So does that have a radius?
It has two radii. Yes.
Oh.
A polar radius and an equatorial radius.
Okay. So there's two different curvatures then. There's only
Yes,
two different curvatures. Where's that change in the curvature? Right.
They're
Where does
very
that occur?
close. They're very close. So depending on the level of accuracy you need, you can use a single radius or use both if you need to be more accurate, right?
Okay.
So it
So
depends on the
just
margin
the
of
two
error.
though,
Now-
right? You just have the two.
No. Oh, it gets more complicated than that if you want, but that's okay.
No,
Bev,
like
when
you-
you do a
just two.
measurement,
Just two
right,
will
you
do.
used to be a joiner. When you do a measurement and you look at the
Yep.
at your ruler, right?
Straight line distance.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you look at that, what's the margin of error when you have a ruler that goes to millimeters? What's the margin of error?
Well, it would be a millimeter, right?
A half a millimeter.
Well, half. Like, can you not get that close?
Yeah, when you have a measuring device
Yeah.
that has
Okay, Tom.
lines on the millimeters,
Yeah.
the margin of error is half of a millimeter.
Okay. So what about if it's got lines on the half millimeter then?
Then it's a quarter millimeter.
Right. So why is it at the half distance that your error?
It's because that's the accuracy of that instrument.
The accuracy is half of the distance of the grading.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this new to you?
Well, so
This seems new. to
when
me.
you say I've got grading on my measuring staff there, that's a graded centimeter, right? So what are you saying the
Continue.
accuracy is for that?
if it's at a centimeter, if that's all that it has, and there's a one line at 1 centimeter, one line at 2 centimeters,
Yeah.
your margin of error is half of a centimeter.
No, I could get to the millimeter, right?
But you don't have markings on there
George.
for millimeter.
Judge, right?
George,
he's not right
have
with the error there margin, is he?
How do you do margin of error, George?
Well, generally what I do to get margin of error, you have to have several data points in order to do some statistics on it, so that you look at the mean, you average all the points to get the mean, and then you subtract all the data points from the mean to get what the variation is, and then just do a variational statistics on it to get what your RSSing is on the error. But the simple way, if you didn't want to do that, you can get a growth estimate by taking the mean and just subtracting all the data points from the mean, and then look for the max and the min on the difference of each data point from the mean, and then that would kind of give you an idea of what to expect in terms of error.
Right, sweet. But we're just talking about now doing like differential leveling where you have a foresight and a backsight.
Well, on
Right,
that,
so
would
there's only like
depend
two
upon-
measurements,
well, there's
right?
two sources of errors there. Is the one source of error, of course, is the limitation of your instrumentation. If you have using an auto level and you have a 1 arc second auto level,
No, well,
And
you see,
then-
main surveyor said he'd only go 30 meters away, 100 feet. Right, is the maximum distance he'd go. So we're talking about that sort of distance.
right? Yes,
and the
He
error,
didn't say
please.
that.
But
What are you talking about?
again,
He didn't say that.
again, that
he
is
did.
taking also that's taking the Earth curvature into account. You interrupted me before I finished. There's several sources that can cause an error in leveling. One is operator error. Another is limitations of your equipment. And then the other is the Earth curvature. Is generally you don't want to go much more than about 60, 70 meters tops in order to not have the Earth's curvature affect your leveling.
Yeah, Jeff says he only goes over 30. Like, he wouldn't advise anybody
That's
to go
right.
over
It depends
30.
upon the level of
Yeah, yeah.
accuracy that you
So that's
want.
what we're talking about, right? That margin of error. If you're looking over 30 meters with an auto level and you've got a staff that is graded in centimeters, right?
Well, do you understand
Toon
how
says
much?
the error margin is half a centimeter, 5 millimeters. Do you agree with that?
That's when you're doing a straight line measurement, like on a board or something there, Bev.
Okay.
Yeah, well, this is a graded staff, isn't it, in a vertical position? You're just looking through some crosshairs. The rod is vertical, and the crosshairs in the auto level, they're horizontal, right?
How far out do you want to go?
This is 30 meters. We're taking it with
Okay,
Jeff's
30
maximum.
meters. All right, I'll give you what it is. Hang on here.
You'll give me what? The maximum, the error margin.
Okay, yeah, the error that you're going to pick up in, let's see, that's in meters, so we want to go to millimeters.
Particularly talking
So
about
you're going to pick
the
up in
staff.
30 meters.
Just
in
listen.
30
Just listen.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you want me to say this?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. In 30 meters, the amount of curvature that you can pick up.
No, George, I think you've mistaken, mate.
Yeah,
No,
never mind.
you-
There's no point talking.
Yeah. You don't want to. Yeah, Bev, you don't want to learn. We got it. Okay.
No.
Let's move on.
He wasn't going to come up with anything like your 5 millimeters that you were
Yeah,
talking about.
because you
5
because he got
millimeters is
confused.
not what you're going to pick up. You're not going to pick up 5 millimeters.
I
in
know.
30 meters.
I
In
know
30
that.
meters, you're going to pick up 0.07 millimeters.
This go-
About a tenth of a millimeter. A little bit less than a tenth of a millimeter is the error that you'll pick up due to Earth's
Okay, right.
curvature
Yeah, but
in
you-
30 meters.
Yeah, George, you're not getting what McToons was saying.
Yeah.
Well, then
Here's what
state
I
it
was
clearly.
saying. I was being very clear when measuring just a length, like on a board. Because I'm starting at the beginning, because you miss these things once they start getting more complicated, you get all confused. When you use just like a tape measure or a ruler that has markings at every millimeter, that ruler can measure length to 1/2 of a millimeter margin of error. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when you're talking about doing survey work at 30 meters out, there's a whole bunch of other things that you need to calculate to get your margin of error.
But
Okay,
yeah,
so-
but I was
so
saying
they're not
my
directly
staff-
analogous.
My staff is only graded by the centimeter. Actually, I've got one that's graded at the half centimeter. But those ones that are graded at the centimeter won't mean that the error is 5 millimeters just because of the grading on the staff. That's
Right,
what
you
I was
have
saying.
to have you have to have finer graduations on your staff if you're going to do what you're trying to do in 30 millimeters. I mean, you can't. That's much too gross in order to make any sort of measurements on that staff. What you'd probably do is maybe put a piece of paper on that staff and make a mark with a fine pen or a pencil, and then go with that. I mean, you can't go with the markings on your staff to do leveling at distances of 30 millimeters. I mean, only if you're only trying to get within a centimeter, but with what you're trying to do in
30
splitting hairs and
30
stuff,
meters,
you're going to have
George.
to have much finer graduations than any of your standard surveying staffs.
Okay, so we were talking about my test, George, and we were talking about
So, yeah, it's a
establishing
good
a
question.
horizontal, right?
what's the margin of error on your auto level, considering things like the have you
I can
you know,
address that, McToon.
yeah.
I use auto levels.
Yeah. So what model do you have there, Bev?
Oh, Beth. Okay.
Bev has a particular one that he owns.
Yeah.
And likes to.
Which one is it?
It's the AL32.
What manufacturer?
Dayton.
Oh, okay. I'm familiar with that one.
Oh, yeah. Probably been shown it before, right? Did George send you the email? Sorry, not George. Jeff.
George, do you think George sent George
John?
An email? John.
No.
Yeah, John was the one that sent an email to.
No,
them
I was
when
looking
showed
at
it on
purchasing.
Twitter.
I was looking at purchasing one of those several months ago, but then
From the UK.
I determined that the optics are substandard on
From
that
the
particular model
UK. You were
because
going to buy it from the UK, were you, George?
Yeah, yes, I was going to have Rumpus send it to me.
Oh, right.
But
And you
I
say what's up
decided
with
after
it?
looking at it that it's much too cheap for what they claim it to be, that the optics are a bit substandard on the thing. It only has a 40 millimeter aperture, and to do a 32x auto level with a 40 millimeter aperture means that the image is going to be too dark to do what I want to do.
Okay. So what do you want to do with it?
Well, I want to be able to sight out. I was hoping to get something that might be equivalent to the Topcon ATG2 that I'm using, which is a 32X. I wanted a second one, but not spend as much money. But turns out if you want quality, you got to spend
So what
money.
do you want to do with it, George, was the question. What is it that
Well, I
you're
wanted
after
to get
doing?
lighter images. I wanted to get lighter images than what I've been getting taking out of the auto levels that I use. The images tend to be a bit dark when I'm sighting out at 6 miles. And
You sight 6
but I
miles
decided
with
I
an
don't
auto
need
level.
I don't need an auto level to do what I want to do. I just purchased a new Topcon GTS 3B, which is a 30 power theodolite, which is going to be much better than much more accurate. Well, not much more accurate, but will give me better images and give me self-correction that I can do each time I bring it out that you can't do with an auto level. An auto level, you have to calibrate it and hope it stays in calibration, whereas with the theodolite, you can self-calibrate it every time you bring it out into the field. So I'm going to be using a 1 arc second theodolite from now on rather than using an auto level.
Okay. So, George, when I call this surveying company up tomorrow to ask them about this level, what is it that you should think I should tell them about the substandard thing? Because they said to me it was the most accurate level they had for establishing a horizontal.
Yeah, well,
they said, George, it's within 1 millimeter over a 1 kilometer double run. Now, do you not think that's accurate enough or something?
Well, that's different than talking about setting accuracy. Setting accuracy, you do not get 1 millimeter.
It's a
sighting
tool
1
for
kilometer.
doing a job, right? That accuracy of 1 millimeter over a 1 kilometer double run is the accuracy it is to do the job it is determined to do.
Yes,
okay?
that's pretty standard. That's pretty standard for a 1 arc second auto level. It'll do
For
the
a
job
32
for you,
times
yeah.
scope auto level, yeah. For establishing a horizontal plane of reference, right, George?
At your point of where you set it up, yes, you
Right.
can set up a horizontal plane, but you cannot. Well, I'd have to see how far out do you want to establish that horizontal
Over a
plane?
mile, George. We want 3
can't do it.
points on the same
You can't do it.
horizontal over 1 mile.
And how do you how are you proposing to do that?
To get surveyors to come and establish
He's going to
a
hire
horizontal
a professional surveyor.
Yeah.
Yes, but I mean, how do you propose that they're going to do that? A surveyor is going to tell you to go
don't know,
take
like
a hike.
you're
gonna
the
try
one
to get a
that's-
horizontal plane established over 1 mile.
They're going to tell us to what, George?
Take a hike.
What, do you say they can't do it or what?
Not the way that I've heard you proposing how you want it done.
I just want them to establish a horizontal over 1 mile.
Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, they could bring a theodolite, a very accurate theodolite, and establish a horizontal plane over 1 mile. It's going to cost you a pretty penny to do that because that's probably going to take a good afternoon to set up and do.
Just an afternoon with a theodolite.
Yeah, an afternoon, maybe a day. I don't know. It just depends upon the terrain that you're setting this on.
Okay. How much would you charge for doing that?
I don't know. I don't charge professionally for this sort of thing.
Okay, so you do it. You do it
So
for
I
nothing.
don't hire out. I don't
Bev,
hire
when
out.
you-
I'm not a
When you call them, they'll answer that question.
Yeah, they
Right?
will.
You say,
That's
"I
right.
want you
Yeah,
to do this,
Yeah.
and what's going to be the fee?" Right?
Yeah.
And I'm surprised you've done none of this background work at all yet. You've been talking
Whoa.
Actually,
a long time
McDoon,
about doing
I-
this.
You
I
assume
have
a
worked
lot.
with surveyors, and my
Yeah.
guess would be that you're probably looking at $1,500 to probably $2,000 for the day to
Right,
do
okay.
that.
Yeah.
So they
when-
could definitely do it, right, George?
Yes, they could definitely do
Okay.
it.
Now, have you heard Jesse Kozlowski say that the water level will drop away from horizontal at a certain rate? You know, he comes out
I
with
mean,
some
water
numbers.
level, like filling a garden hose full of water and trying to look at the level of the water on both ends.
Yeah, that's a water level, right?
Yeah, okay. So say you have 2 points.
Yeah, we've got
starting
3
point
points.
A,
We've just
you
got
have the
3
end-
points.
Well, let's just first address 2 points.
Okay. Which
You
ones are
have-
these? The 2 outside points?
Yeah,
Okay.
the end points of your water level.
Yeah,
of
1
your
mile.
garden hose,
Yeah.
whatever filled with water. You have point A and you have point B. All
Yeah.
right, you're at point A. You
Can
set
you see
your,
my Can you see my picture there up on the screen? Because there's like a
Barely.
water level there. It's point A, B, and C.
Yeah. Okay, so what's your question?
Well, you're trying to say about point A and point B and point C. They're on that drawing, right?
Well, I can't make it out to it.
Can you
So
not?
B is in the middle.
Yep. And that's
All right.
1 mile. And then the purple one. Can you see the purple?
No, I see your diagram.
Okay.
No, that's perfectly fine for a flat Earth, but that's not the way it's going to end up being.
Okay. So
on a
what
curved Earth.
would
I mean,
be different?
the water levels will all be the same, but it's not going to prove anything for you.
Would be on a horizontal plane. It would prove that
No,
all of
no,
the.
it doesn't prove. No. The result will be the same whether you're on a horizontal
Isn't that
plane
not
or
a
on a curved Earth.
geometric proof, right?
No, it's not geometric proof. You don't get it. That test that you have outlined there in that diagram,
Yep.
those water levels will all be at the same height. The
But
ones in the middle. will
Well,
all
yeah,
agree
we'll be
with one
checking them
another,
against the horizontal, right? We've just established.
Why are you so rude? Why
A,
are you
B,
so
and
rude?
C.
You're always this way. This is why I have
Because
difficulty.
you're just
talking to
forgetting
you.
what we've just
You're
talked
always
Typical
about.
flat
interrupting.
earther. They don't understand things. And then
Did
they,
you just
they
call
want to
me a
assert-
flat earther when I've just said
Yeah,
many
yeah, you
times?
are a flat earther. Yeah, you are a flat earther.
Many times.
So
that
so
there
all
is
flat earthers
topography.
have this
That's
this
not
problem
flat.
that they're
It's
rude
not
because they
two-dimensional,
don't
it's
understand these
three-dimensional.
things, and they just
There's,
they just want they,
it's
they
a
have this
distance
belief
above
that they want to
right?
they want
It's a distance
desperately
above
prove to be
the
true,
datum.
but they can't. So all right, flat earther Bev.
Oh, that's
go-
very,
go
very
ahead.
childish,
Go ahead,
McToons,
George.
right? Very, very
Um,
childish.
I don't, McDoon, I don't use these, this type of format. Is there a way for me? Okay, I see a screen share. If you want, I could screen share something, but just real quick, just trying to do this in words, is the diagram that Bev has there. Is there some way of blowing that up so we can all see it in detail?
Well, not easily.
Okay.
Bev could share his screen.
It's not my screen, it's my camera.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem. So,
What do you mean?
Okay. Well, hopefully people can see what he has there. Is he has a set of 3 water levels. There's one that goes, say, from the starting point A to the middle. then from the middle, we'll call that point B. He's got another one going from B over to C at the end of the run.
The purple
And
one's the
then
same.
He has an overall water level that goes from A to Z.
Yeah, the purple one's
Now-
all the same body. And
Yeah.
then there's a
Now-
red one and a blue one that check the
Yes.
outside to the center. Okay?
Yes. Okay. Now, you're going to fill these tubes, hoses, or whatever you have there
Yep.
with water.
Yep.
And you're going to fill them so that the water level at A, the one going from A to B, is at the same height as the one going from A to C. And then you're going to go to the middle. You're going to fill the level at B so that its height agrees with the water level that goes from A to B. And then you have a riser in the middle of the one that goes from A to C, and you're going to fill it so that
No,
the
they're all the
riser-
same. That's one body. That purple one's one water level, right? One body
Yeah.
of water on the purple, and then there's one body of water in the red,
I
one
see
body
that.
on the blue.
That's
Okay?
what I was describing. Okay, now, what I have been trying to tell you for months is when you get the levels, the water heights, which you call the level,
So you've been
those
trying to tell
waters,
me for months,
tubes all
George.
set up.
never
Well, you
talked,
shut up,
George.
Bev. Jesus,
listen.
let me finish.
Listen,
No,
Bev.
he's just said he's been trying to tell me for months. I haven't talked to George about this. That's a lie, George.
We've had a discussion about this on
Yeah,
radio.
Yeah,
we've had a
that's
little
neither
time,
here nor
not
there.
a month.
All right, Bev. All right, Bev.
Okay.
We've never had this discussion. We've never had this discussion. Okay.
We've
this
had
is
this
the first
discussion
time.
once,
All right.
and you
You're
went
right.
on a
You're right,
meltdown.
Bev. Hey,
George.
hey, I concede, Bev. You're right. I was wrong. This is the first time we've ever discussed this. Okay, let's move on. Now, you're going to adjust the heights of the water level of the waters in these hoses so that they match.
we're just gonna
at
fill
end
them up.
A.
Yeah.
This, what should take 2 minutes, is going to take an hour here with Bev. I
Yeah.
can tell.
All right, Bev, stop talking. If you can't be an adult and let him finish his point, I'll mute you so that he can do that. But I'd rather not have to treat you like that much of a child.
All right. So you can fill the tubes up so that you can see the water levels, the heights in these riser tubes matching with one another. And Bev is claiming that after this is said and done, that if you go to the middle, you're going to see that all the water heights are going to match. All the water heights at C are going to match, and at A are going to match. Hence, the Earth. This proves geometrically that the Earth is flat.
No, the water level
Now-
is horizontal, George. I've never claimed that. That flat
Okay,
word
it's
that you keep
horizontal.
using, right? I don't use it.
All right. Okay.
Actually, you do, Bev.
Where?
You do. Where?
Where?
All right, I'll show you.
Go on.
Just
You
a
dig
second,
like
I'll-
an old
But
tweet
for a
up.
long story short, Bev,
Yeah.
is on a curved Earth, a spherical Earth, the same thing will happen. So you cannot conclude.
How can you
that-
have a straight line?
Well, see, this is the problem that we've
Yeah,
always been faced
he-
with, is you don't understand gravitational equal potentials, that the water
no, it's
levels
just-
all seek the same level on a
To be
gravitational
the same horizontal, though,
potential.
George. Shared. Straight line.
Okay, now, if you do this on a surveying, after you've had a surveyor establish a straight tangent line or your horizontal line, and you set your tubes up
Yep.
and you fill them,
Yep.
that will not happen.
That won't
That
happen.
is the issue. No, it will not happen. Those water levels will not be the same at point C and point B as they are at A. They will not match.
Okay, so like yeah, you've made your prediction, right?
Yeah,
That's, I mean, that's
made
the
my
test. We get the horizontal
Well,
set,
I-
then we
You've
put
been
these
claiming
tubes
you're
up,
going
and
to
then
be
we
doing
filled
this
it
for
up.
months. Why don't you go out and do it? Quit jawing about it. Get up off the couch
He-
and do it.
He hasn't even done the footwork to find out how much it might cost to have a professional do this. But Bev, I am
sorry,
showing you.
McToons. Sorry, what was that you say?
I am showing you on the screen right here
Footwork.
where you said it was flat. You
Yeah,
said
wow.
the
March
Earth is flat.
13th, 2019.
So now you said you never said the Earth is flat, and here it is. You have said the
No,
Earth is
look.
flat.
See, can you see above it? But water is level, right? Yes. And flat.
Oh,
No,
Well,
level, but not
level
flat.
level is a curve. Yeah, level is a curve as measured. It's been
level.
measured.
Look, water
I will
is
make a
level,
prediction
right?
here for
yes,
you, Bev.
and flat. So where are you saying that? What does that flat in that sentence mean?
Bev,
Here's the
Toons.
deal, Bev. Bev,
Yeah.
you claimed that you never said the Earth is flat, and
It
I'm
said
showing you
flat.
the tweet.
The water.
Look at the picture. Look
Look-
at the picture where is a red background with white text that says the Earth is flat. That's your picture in your tweet.
That's
you
just
said
a
the
meme.
Earth is
Flat. Water. Flat.
hey, McToon,
Yes.
I want to make a prediction for Bev here. I'll tell you, Bev,
Yeah.
if you take your water levels, those
Okay.
3 water levels, set them up as you did,
Yeah.
and you set them up so that the risers are all matched along a straight line.
Yeah, we'll get the
horizontal,
surveyors to
that
do
you
that
had-
horizontal.
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
You have a surveyor set up that
Yep.
horizontal line,
Yep.
and you set your risers up, and you fill the tubes at point A. When you get to point B, you'll find that the water levels will be below, a little
Okay.
bit below the tangent line or your horizontal line. And when you go out to sea, it'll be even lower more.
Brilliant. That's exactly what Jesse Kozlowski said. Right?
Okay. Well, then we're in agreement.
All right. Well, let's go to C. Right? And
I'm
then
telling
look
you,
at the
you have
water
to
level.
Perform the test. You
Right,
can
yeah,
talk
but
about it
George,
all you want.
yeah,
Until
George,
you do the test,
George,
you don't know
when
what the
we
outcome's
go
gonna be.
to C, what happens with the water level?
I'm telling you,
What?
the blue and the purple there at C will be below,
Yeah.
as in lower.
Okay,
There
but
will
what-
be a
when you
visible
get there,
gap
George.
between the horizontal
Yes.
and the height
Okay.
of the water. They will
Okay,
not
and when-
coincide with one
When
another.
you get to C and you are standing at C, what is A?
A is where whatever you
So that
put-
that would be higher then, would it? Still.
no, not higher. No,
Oh right.
not
So
higher.
what
If-
would happen then?
No. If you set your horizontal line
Yeah.
at A.
No.
and
You go
go
all the way to C and then you go back
Yes.
to close your loop when you are surveying.
No,
George.
we're not talking about closing a loop or surveying. We're talking about your water level. I'm just
No,
telling
we're talking
you
about
right
the
now.
surveyors that have set the horizontal. They've had to close their loop in order to get that sorted, right?
Why do you
No.
why do you think you get to tell surveyors how to do their job?
You just
Is
let the
this a surveyor,
surveyors
is he?
set a horizontal line for you that goes out from A.
Yeah.
Once that's done, that's
Yeah.
done. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you have a horizontal line that starts at A and goes outward towards C.
Right, and
Okay,
then
I'm
so
saying
it
towards
would
C.
still
I'm not
be
saying it's gonna
horizontal at C,
coincide with C.
wouldn't it,
Now,
George?
will you please shut up a
Would
moment?
it be
My gosh,
horizontal?
you are
at
so
C?
rude. You're
Bev,
always rude.
shush.
This is why people don't like talking.
Come on,
to
Bev. Be an adult. Shut the mouth. Listen with your ears. All right, go, George.
All right, thank you. Now you're going to have a surveyor. We'll go through it one more time. You're going to have a surveyor set his equipment up at A and establish and set a horizontal line for you that's going to extend way out to C
Yep.
or past C.
And it would be horizontal when it got to C.
And it will
wouldn't
be horizontal. That's what I just said.
Brilliant.
He's going to set a horizontal line from you beginning at A and going out towards C. All right, now you set up your water levels. You fill the pipes up
Yeah.
back at A so
Yeah.
that the heights of the water at A coincides with the horizontal line that the surveyor set for you. Okay, now you've got your pipes all filled. The the heights of the water at A agrees with the horizontal line
15
established by the
15
surveyor.
centimeters
Now,
there.
the claim is you're
about
claiming
6
that by the
inches.
time you get to C, that those water levels are
Enough
also
down there.
going to coincide with the horizontal. And I say they will not. I say they will be lower, and the amount that they will be lower will agree with 8 inches per mile squared. So you
Okay.
go out a mile, those water levels in that pipe will be below the horizontal line set by the surveyors by 8 inches.
Okay, so when you come here though, right, and this horizontal line is still there, right, and the water you say is dropped away from the horizontal.
Yep.
This water over here, but you're
Will
over
still-
here now, right? Where would that be?
Horizontal
That
is
was
to one point. Horizontal is just a
Yeah, but
reference at
that,
one
you've
point.
already established there is one horizontal that goes all the way here. So
No,
it's still
the
horizontal
horizontals-
here. That's what we said.
What
we sorted
at
it.
what point? At what point is that horizontal established? Horizontal is only good for one point at A, right?
It's
The
still
horizontal is at
horizontal
A.
here though. I did check because it's a horizontal line.
So now, if you told the surveyors, I want you to establish a horizontal, they're going to ask, they're going to need to know which point. You're going to say point A.
Do you reckon?
Now, if you want them, well, you could pick B or C, right? But now, if you wanted,
No,
could
do you
say, I
reckon
want you
that's
to
what they'd
also-
say?
They also could, at your discretion, establish a horizontal at point C. Now, that's going to establish different horizontals because there's different points. So
Don't go there, McToon. He doesn't get
yeah.
that.
Oh, and it's too much. So
Oh,
we
watch
do
out!
need to
Watch
get
out!
going
He's
here.
warning you, Toons. He's warning you.
Yeah.
Dodgy
All right, so-
territory there.
I'm going to ask you. WS is wondering, Bev, what's the drop over 100 meters on the globe?
On whose globe?
On the globe, that is the one that's been measured and it's been established for thousands of years.
Which globe?
What is the drop
Like
at 100 meters?
That one behind
If you don't, if you can't calculate it,
you've
just
got
say
two
you can't
behind
do the
your
math.
head. You've got
Yeah,
two
that's
behind
not
your
what
head.
we're-
That globe.
Bev,
100
if you
meters
can't
on that
understand
globe.
it, if you can't understand it, just deflect again.
I'm asking you.
McToon?
Which
Okay.
globe?
You can't.
The drop
can't
at 100
understand it.
meters, McToon, the drop at 100 meters is 0.78 millimeters.
The drop of the level away from the horizontal, or the drop of the horizontal.
The drop of level away from the horizontal. Yeah, there you go. So Saeed Ahmed is wondering, or saying, Bev's degree must be in interrupting debaters and not letting them answer questions he asks, right?
Oh.
That would be, I don't know if
Have
they,
you-
what,
have you
what
had
university
debaters on here?
offers. What offers
I
that
thought this was just
well,
a chat.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a debate. We just say debate as kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing. So
It's
digital
much,
demonic,
more entertainment then, right?
that's what I typically mark them as entertainment, sometimes education. But anyway, digital demonic Davros says, do I need to come in there and yell at Bev?
Does he
No.
dare come
There's
in?
enough. Does he?
But Bev,
well, he
the
will.
long, the
I
short
made
of
it.
it,
I
the
think
short
I'm here.
version here is, Bev, I encourage you to go and do your test. Get it done.
Brilliant.
You will find that if you have a surveyor set you a horizontal line
Yeah.
beginning at A,
Yeah.
start
We'll go
at
all the
A,
way
and
across.
you do your what? Yes, and you fill your tubes with water.
Yep.
And back at A, if the height of the water is at the same height as the horizontal line that they set up, you want the tops of those water
Like a what?
heights
Like a
of your
level.
tube at A to agree with your horizontal line.
Yeah.
Then by the time you get out to sea, there's going to be a gap between the height of the water in the tubes and your horizontal line by the amount of 8 inches. And the middle, the gap will be 2 inches.
Okay,
George, you're
so
not a surveyor. What are you even doing here, man?
Exponential.
That's
Wait a
easy.
minute,
That's
George.
easy.
Wait a minute, Clary. We
math.
were
It
just
goes
on
as
our
the
way
square of
back.
the distance.
We were just on our way back, George.
It goes as the square of the distance. So
On the
if
way
you
back,
drop back by half.
what happens to the
drop distance
water?
drops-
George,
Oh,
what happens to the water level on the way back?
What do you mean on the way back?
Well, you've got a
Nothing's
horizontal
cha- no,
set here.
No, listen, Bev. Listen a minute.
Yeah.
We said all you do is you set your horizontal line that goes out to a mile.
Yeah, like this one
All right.
here.
You,
all the way
all right,
across.
you fill your tubes with water.
level.
You have the top of the water levels on
Yeah,
the
like
tubes
here.
agree at
Imagine
A,
it's filled up there.
and you don't have to
And
worry
this one's
about
filled up
anything
here
else.
as well.
All you do is, oh my God, why can't
Bev.
one speak with you on a show, Bev? Why are you so damn rude all the time?
Sorry, George.
Why are you so damn rude? Is the question to you, Bev.
Why? I don't consider myself rude. Why? What do you consider rude?
I think
demeaning people who are carers.
Oh,
I think that's pretty rude.
yeah.
What are these insults all about? All this name calling,
So-
McToon, with this, you're a flat earther. You know, I didn't know it was going to be like this. I guess when you guys
Cleary-
start losing.
Cleary, he is a flat earther.
No,
I'm
what
not.
is-
I've said
define your
multiple
concept.
times. I
He
am
has
not.
declared it.
Define your concept of flat Earth. Can you tell me what your concept of flat Earth is?
That would be that the overall shape of the Earth being flat.
What Earth? The ground?
Yeah, it's you play semantics games, I guess. You learn from Bev, huh?
No. I'm asking you, what is your concept of flat Earth? The overall Earth being flat.
The flying space pizza idea.
Flying space pizza. See, now that's
Yeah.
why you think it's silly, because you think it's a flying space pizza. When in
I say
reality,
that to be silly, but yeah, the idea is silly because you've not got any measurements to support your.
actually,
position.
every single measurement ever taken is of a horizontal plane based on sea level, and I guess that's why the main surveyor ran away. But yeah, you're not measuring curve, are you?
Yes,
Are you
you can
measuring
measure.
curve?
You absolutely can measure curve. Yeah.
Who is
and you
measured
can,
curve?
And you can see that the main surveyor did that in several
No,
of
he
his
was doing
videos.
reciprocal leveling, and he's trying to infer that he's measuring curvature, talking about
well,
tilt, trying to confuse.
Tell you
people.
what, I'll show you. I'll show everybody here exactly because let's see, he's got a nice
Jesse
one
did
there.
the same thing, talking about tilt. Never said curvature, but everybody out there is going, "Oh my God, they measured tilt. We live on a ball." No. They're tricking you. And
Yeah.
they tricked George and had him
So-
out there on the lake shooting 6 miles across, thinking he's
So
measuring curvature.
how would you measure curve?
You
That's a
can't.
damn good question.
Yeah, well, Bev,
Ask George.
when you say you can't, you are presuming something. So now, if it
You
were
measure.
curve,
You measure
how would
point
you
to
measure
point
it?
distance. Toon.
Point to point
so that's
distance.
Well,
Distance.
you measure point to point.
What do you mean point to point distance?
Well,
You said
It's
that's
called
what you
differential
said.
leveling.
you what sort
Yeah,
of leveling are you doing?
Leveling is not.
What do you know
yeah.
about leveling?
So
tunes.
So one way would be to see if at a distance the horizon is at the same plane.
this?
What is
as
that,
your-
optical
the-
effect?
this,
How
Joe?
far away is that?
See this? Right? See this? What do you think this is a distance? Right? You measure
that's-
a distance on this thing.
That's an elevation. Yes, that's elevation.
It's a
Elevation.
distance,
So
right?
you measured deviation from the horizontal, and that's called elevation.
Yes.
So,
So-
where's
so
the
here-
curvature?
So the curve. Well, if Bev ever does this thing that he's been refusing to do forever,
Sorry?
and if he gets a
Refusing.
professional surveyor, if he ever gets a
McToons,
surveyor to
refusing.
do it,
Who are you?
Bev, I'm so. Did the middle of
Yeah,
my
you're
sentence
just
interrupt
in the middle
beginning
of
yours?
lying about something again.
If you ever decide to do it, because you won't do it, I know you won't, but that's fine. You won't ever get a professional surveyor to go and establish a horizontal, as you say.
Yeah.
So-
the main surveyor said you can do that. George
No, I think
told me
he's
twice
threatening
that
to
you
call
can.
all of the surveyors around
not
the
even a
area,
surveyor.
so we can't.
I'm
think.
telling you that I don't believe you will ever get
Believe.
a professional surveyor to do it. Now,
Okay.
prove
Why-
me wrong,
why-
please.
why
please
would you-
show that I'm
Why
wrong?
would you think
and
we can't
actually
get a
go
professional surveyor
and-
to establish
and hire
3
a
points
professional
on
surveyor?
a horizontal? Why do you not
Surveyors,
think that possible?
Yeah,
Please-
surveyor
please
survey.
prove me wrong.
You don't think surveyors can do their job?
I think they can, but I don't think Bev ever will. That's what I'm saying.
Well, you don't worry
He's
about
never
that.
going to do it.
Yeah, he'll
He's
do
never
it,
going to
but
do it.
He wants to make
So-
sure you guys understand that there's going to be professional surveyors out there, so you guys don't whine and complain that he did it wrong.
Yep. So anyway, let's see. I do need to get moving here. I have another debate later today, and I
Ooh,
got
debate.
some family stuff here. So
Hey,
I
I'm
got a
sorry I'm
guy-
late, McToon. I got stuck at work in the rain, and anday,
Yeah,
here I am
that's
finally.
okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. We got George to take in. So take up the spot here for the main
Yeah.
survey. He told me yesterday he had only an hour, and you could tell his Wi-Fi, not his Wi-Fi. He was on cellular the whole time. I think he was traveling, and then started to get to a bad bad signal there.
Man, I
so.
couldn't get Zoom to work on my phone. I use Discord all day long, but I couldn't get Zoom to work.
Yeah. We do have a couple more questions here, if you don't mind. Tim Pryor says Bev will never find his soulmate unless there's somebody out there with the name Horizontal or Level. Bev has a soulmate. Bev, right?
That's pretty childish if whoever said that, right?
That was Tim Pryor.
Wow, Tim.
So
how much did he give you to do that? To say that?
That was 5 simoleons.
Wow, what's that?
Yeah.
Do you know what
Money
that is?
well spent.
Simoleons. So Jess says, miles, feet, dollars. Is Bev really in the UK?
I would like yes. Like what?
Okay.
Wow, how much did he?
Hey, we got
how much
we got a straight answer for that.
Wow,
Lael is
did
here.
He seriously get to pay you to ask?
Yes, she did.
Wow, nice.
Jess, that's and she's lost the Ika-G. It's gone. The Ika-G has gone. So Lael is here, says, Toon, can you ask Jeff my prior super chat before he leaves? And we missed it. That was the one that that George answered.
Oh dear.
So
McDoon?
Yes.
I just quickly put something up in Paint and I can screen share. It's a very simple little diagram. I'll explain to everybody what's going to happen, and this will just take a minute or two.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, let's see here. Okay. You can tell me when the screen is coming through. I just did a screen share. Is it not coming through?
Yep, we got it.
All right. Top, we have A and we have C. The blue shows the water level. All right. Bev is going to have a surveyor set out a horizontal tangent line or a horizontal line going from A to C. That's the black mark. Okay. Yeah. That's our horizontal. Now, Bev is going to take this water level, fill it up so that the top of the water level coincides with the horizontal line at A. And then he expects to go out to C and see that the water level at C, in that water level, the water itself will agree with the horizontal tangent. That's his claim. Our claim is what's going to really happen.
Wow.
Is
Whoa, George. Can you just
shut
say,
up.
don't
Shut
say
up.
our
Quiet.
claim.
Bev, be quiet.
All right, let him speak for everyone then. Go on.
All right. So for those of us that understand that the earth is curved, this is what's actually going to happen. You're going to have your water level go from A to C. You're going to fill it up at A so it agrees with the horizontal tangent or the horizontal line. And then the water will seek its own level so that the height of the water pipe at A, the water at the top of the pipe is going to be at the same height at C above the curvature of the earth, and there will be a gap between the height of the water at C and the horizontal line.
Hey,
and
George,
that amount will be 8 inches in a mile. If you go back to point B, it will be 2 inches to the point where you get to A, that there won't be any gap. So the further you go out from A towards C, the more of a gap there will be between the top of the water on the water level and the
So George, when it looks like your first drawing, when it looks like that, what are you going to say?
Oh, I'll concede. I'll say the earth is flat. And I'll scream from the rooftops.
The earth won't be flat though, George. It won't make the earth flat. There will still be mountains and valleys.
Yes. We get it.
It will just make level horizontal, right? Will you admit that?
I'll declare that the earth is not a spherical planet. How's that?
Declare that level is horizontal, right? Because that's what the test is, right? It's a test to show that level is horizontal.
It's simple.
All right, fine. If you want to define it that way, fine. Okay.
Thank you. You know, like, that's one of the worst logical fallacies I've ever seen in my life, and I tried to stop you, because I'm sure there's going to be lots of people that think it's crazy, right?
All right, Bev. I'd
Like
love
drop
to
in.
see. I'd love to see what happens when you call them up and see what I'm all for doing that.
Yeah. Why are you showing that thing that Casey's done where she's bent?
Yeah. So
Is
that
what
is the
what you
prediction.
imagine?
That is the globe prediction.
Are you
is the globe
sure?
prediction.
Have you seen all of those at different water levels?
I'm
Toons?
sure that is the globe
Have you
prediction.
seen that those are water levels? They all the
will
different
clarify.
colours.
I will clarify again. I am sure that is the globe prediction.
Okay, brilliant. So when that doesn't happen, and we find out, will you be the same as George? Will you say, "Wow,
Absolutely.
fantastic"? Thank
Great,
you.
guys. Good talking to you.
Yeah.
Glober Mom is wondering, who's FTFE? Isn't he Batman?
What's that mean?
Oh, he was on here last week as Batman. I mean, Batman was on here not as FTFE. Don't worry.
Okay.
These are not the droids you're
Is
looking
that,
for.
I think that's Glober Mom that had the a titty comparison with Fight the Flat Earth. Is it?
Oh, so you're going to go with the... All right.
Well, no, she sent me a tweet asking me to compare them.
Okay. JL Warren is wondering, hey, Bev, I'd like to understand what personal belief is justified by your need for the Earth to be flat. What is your personal belief?
I'll say it again.
That makes you need it
I will
to be
say it
flat?
again. I do not think that the Earth is flat. I think surveying actually shows through topography that it is not flat, because flat is a two-dimensional surface.
Yes,
It's
So
obviously not. Okay.
When we say flat,
Yeah.
as just a common parlance way of not saying lots and lots of words, when we say Earth is flat or flat earther, we do mean that you think horizontal is level. So just take that.
Well, no, there's
when
a
we say flat
correlation
Earth
with the there's a correlation
and
with the
drop that in.
well,
there's
okay.
a
I mean,
correlation
if
with
it's
the
a
space
substitution.
pizza and all those
I'll take
silly
that
little
if-
images out there. You know, that's what people say about a flat Earth.
yeah, it's just said that level being horizontal. If you think that, then you're a flat earther, right? That's how you
to me,
interpret
when
it.
When I say flat earther, I'm okay with your personal definition of that being that you think that level is horizontal.
Okay.
So
There you go.
substitute that in. We're just using those words because we need some words for common parlance that people can all generally use
Okay,
without
so you-
being super
You
wordy.
need to try and
right?
demean us by labeling us with something,
Calling you a flat
and you are
earther, you should-
using
is
level
not-
being
is- now when I-
horizontal in order
Yeah,
to
I'm not gonna
label
say-
us with something that
I'm
we
not
say
gonna
we're
say
not.
You're a label. I'm not going to say you're a level is horizontal earther. I'm just going to say flat earther. Okay. And so every time you hear me say flat earther, substitute in what you think you are. Okay.
But see, you guys try to say, you know, these guys are just stupid flat earthers. Before I got on here, I heard you guys saying that. I was like, you know what? You know, somebody one time tweeted Australia doesn't exist, and a silly little thing somebody may have said, and you try to put that on a person you label as a flat earther that they said all of these things that all of these thousands of people may have said at one time. That's what you guys want to label that person with, all of that baggage. So it's not
All
about
right.
that.
How about just call them non-globers?
Yeah. We say globe deniers it's another way. So I think that's a,
Or you
a
can
good
just call
enough
yourself a globe lover, a globe model
Sure,
lover.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sure,
McToon, just
Yeah.
as an aside, somebody in chat was asking what my shirt says. It's a joke. It says "Make Donald Trump again." It was a shirt given to me during the last election, and I didn't realize I had it on.
Hey, nice shirt, Bev. What does that say?
Well, that says.
MEUK on Discord on the level.
There you go. So what is your personal belief that requires you that gives you the need, Bev, to think that level is horizontal?
Well, somebody accused me of being a child abuser for thinking that level was horizontal.
I'm asking again. I'll ask again, and maybe you can answer this question instead of a different question. What JL Warren would like to understand what personal belief is justified by your need for level to be horizontal.
A belief. Sorry, say that again. Go on, break it down. What personal belief do I need to hold
what personal belief is justified by your need for level to be horizontal?
I don't have any belief that is justified for any need for level to be level just is horizontal, right?
Yeah, just reality.
That's just
Hey,
quite a plain
Hey,
concept,
Bev,
right? Yeah.
Surfacto asks in the chat, and this is good. This is tit for tat. Suppose you do the test and it comes out as I predicted. What would you do?
Sorry.
Well, are you willing to make a declaration that you're going to give up this flat?
Oh yeah, right. If there is a measured drop of the water level that defies all known logic and geometry, right? If that happens, I will be
geometry.
I love that.
millionaire because I will be a convert and I will be the one globe. I would know, right, that there is a tilt.
Well, time to go and do it, Bev.
Yeah.
Time to go and do it.
That
Time
sounds
to
exciting.
stop jawing about it and go do it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so
that's your advice, right? Let's do this test.
Yeah.
Right.
You've heard
call
it
them
here,
tomorrow.
everybody. Bev, you've heard it here.
I'll tweet you here in a couple days to see how you're doing. I'm excited for this. I'm with you.
Actually, tomorrow
so
I'm going
in
to
a
be
couple
calling
days-
up the surveying, the company that I got
Excellent.
the level from, and like recommending what George says to them, and just making sure that the tool is capable of establishing a horizontal, right? Because George, you say
hold on.
it's not right.
Are you going to use?
Well,
are you gonna use this
George
auto
has
level,
casted. George has
are you
casted
going
doubt
to
over
hire?
the.
Hold on. Are you going to hire a professional surveyor, or are you going to do it yourself? Because you're not a professional surveyor. So which one is it going to be? You doing it?
Can I not
as a not professional
Can I
surveyor?
not do it
or a
first?
professional surveyor?
Can I not do it first or after, or at the same time? Can I not do it ever?
You have
Am I
said-
not allowed to do it ever?
You have
Can I not
said
make sure
that
that
you
the
were
tool
going to
I've
have
got
them
is
do
good
it.
enough to do the job?
Yes,
Yeah.
you can follow and check the professional surveyor, but none of us, and I will say this again, none of us will depend on your competency to establish a
And
horizontal.
why would you say that,
So,
George? Because could you do it,
hire-
George?
Hire a
George?
professional surveyor.
Yeah,
Yes, I
George,
could do it.
Professional
George could do
surveyor.
it. George could do it. He's not a professional surveyor.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll go with this. If George did it, if George was the surveyor that did,
I do actually
the
have
horizontal-
qualifications in surveying, right?
yeah, you know, no.
What do you mean, no?
So-
yeah, I do.
You took
You-
a test.
you know I
took a
do.
GCSE test.
Well, I'll tell you what, Bev, if
yeah.
you're going to do it,
You want to try asking me the full thing, right? Because I did a 2-year course with
George,
land
I'll
surveying.
I'll tell you what,
Two-year
Bev,
course?
if you're going
got
to
a chance
do it,
to put another
you document
test, right?
exactly what you've done. You document by
Have you,
videoing-
George? What's
video-
tell him what your qualifications are in surveying.
No, let's not go there.
Have you not
All
got
we're
any?
saying-
Not even
No,
like a
no,
beginner
no,
one.
Look it, I'm not
Like
the
a
one
really,
doing the
really basic
I'm not
surveying
doing the
one.
one doing the
Come
test.
on,
Your
George.
test.
All
Bev.
I'm saying, this is your
Come on,
test. Bev.
like a
You
elementary
document
one.
it, you film it. You give us
Like
video
year
to
7.
show us how you're establishing the horizontal, and then we will review it to see.
Did
if
you not even get a high
we
school
determine
surveying
whether or not you've
certificate?
done it competently. That's all.
What about you, McToons? Did
I'm
you
not
do
taking your word for it that you established a true horizontal. I just can't take your word for it.
Okay,
I've
so
seen you in
the
action.
I know
before.
you've said that the tool can't establish the tool, so I'm going to call them up and make sure that the tool can establish a horizontal plane of reference, right?
Yeah, there are some globe lovers who have said that they would like to come and participate and be there so that later on they're not coming back and second guessing it because
Well,
they're
I'll tell
actually
you
going
what,
to be
I'll,
there.
I'll make you an offer. You do a GoFundMe or whatever, and you pay for half the trip, and I will take up
George,
the other half.
I'm not
money to come
paying
to
for you to
UK
have a holiday
supervise the
to
test.
come and just obfuscate.
No, I'm not going to obfuscate.
All right,
Set
so
it
we,
up. I will oversee
I
it.
think-
I will.
I think what we've done is we've determined that you have no intention of having a professional surveyor doing it.
I think,
And you're instead
you've
going to
just
have
made
your-
that
Your
up,
not
McToons.
professionalism.
You have
do it.
just fabricated that completely.
Oh, so
is
you
it,
are
is it
going to
scary?
hire.
Is it
You are
scary
going to
to
hire a
think that
professional surveyor.
to think that a surveyor could establish
you-
a horizontal
could you just
and we could put a
be
hose
clear?
pipe next to it? I bet it's
Just
scary,
be clear on
right?
this, Bev. Are you going to hire a professional surveyor to establish a
Yes,
level?
we've already
Yeah.
said that. We would have
Many
to
times.
because there are
Okay,
certain people who would not believe that it was possible for
Yep.
somebody
Yeah, okay.
like me
good.
to be able to establish a horizontal. Now, I can check it
That's correct,
afterwards,
yes.
can't I? I'm allowed
Absolutely.
to check it, and I'm allowed to have a go
You can do
first
all
as
the
well, aren't
checking
I?
you want. Bev, you are allowed to do all the
Okay.
checking and supervision that you want.
Okay, so if let's say if I establish it first, and I make these 3 marks, and then say to the surveyors, "Hey guys, can you come and check these?" What
Fine.
would you say then? Would that
Fine.
be okay? Would they be allowed to then come and check?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we could even establish this and keep it as a like a benchmark that anybody could come and check against as well.
Wow,
couldn't
that'd
we?
be great. Yep.
Sure. That's
Yeah.
fine. Like I said, I would be willing to fund half the trip myself as long as you're willing to have some skin in the game and you get me funding to pay for half the trip. I'll come and supervise it myself, along with your professional surveyors.
Okay, so a horizontal is definitely a straight line, right, George?
Oh my gosh. Of course.
Horizontal is a
Thank you.
plane.
Brilliant.
It's a plane.
George said, of
If
course.
you
All
want
right, well,
in
a
agreement.
horizontal line, yes, it's a straight line.
Fantastic.
All right, I need to move on here. So if you guys just want to listen and stick around, or say goodbyes now, I'm gonna read out the rest of the super chats because they came in, man.
Wow,
They came in.
rocketing. Is it
And,
profitable tonight?
It is
Is
rocking.
it
Man.
normally gets
So I-
you normally get loads when we challenge you really well because you have to have this sort of thing. You have to say these things, right?
I have to say.
Let's
these
go.
things.
Yeah. I mean, they pay you so you can say these.
Oh
things,
yeah,
right?
yeah. That is the social contract.
Yeah.
They pay me to say things.
And
Yes.
you got to
Now, if
smile.
it's-
It
if
must
it's
be
too
good.
rude,
Pay
if it's
pay
too
well
rude,
tonight.
I won't say it. I won't say it. So
Yeah.
all right, we've got now I'm terrible at your accent here. So I don't even know where you're from. I'm terrible. I don't even know where accents in England are. I have seen the movie and the play My Fair Lady, but anyway, level is not horizontal, says the snark.
Wow.
There you go. So
Okay.
Say
so
hi,
does
Wow.
hi,
surveying.
Snark.
So
Cheers.
does surveying. Surveying says the same. So Jess, for the one who missed the Ika-G, says establish a horizontal is next in version 2. And she had tried to do an accent thing.
That's
but
an
I can't
auto
do
level.
so.
That.
Yep. So B-Ball for Life says Bev has been talking about this test for months. When are we going to see results? Tomorrow. He's calling them. He's calling them B-Ball for Life, and he will then know how much it will cost and whether or not.
No,
they
no.
can
I
do
said
it.
I'll
That'll be
call
excellent.
the auto level people just to make sure because George has
Oh,
seriously
so when-
questioned the.
When are you going to call
capability.
the professional
Oh,
surveyors?
we've been
in your
calling
area.
all sorts of surveyors all over the place,
All
right?
types of people.
But you don't have any pricing yet.
Oh, yeah,
from
there's
them.
loads. We've got loads of different prices, yeah, from loads of different surveyors.
Oh, and so what's kind of the range?
That's
Is
a
you-
huge
at the
range.
beginning?
Yeah, yeah, massive. Like some of them, 3,600. Oh yeah,
Absolutely, yeah.
place
Pounds or
like
dollars?
you. Yeah.
Yep. All right, so let's see. Svein. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry if I get this wrong. Svein Arngrimson for 750 ISKs.
Wow.
I don't know what the Swedish is. That
Don't even-
Swedish.
You'll take
kroners.
it anyway,
Let's-
though,
let's
right?
Go with,
you get
let's
your,
go with Swedish
you'll get
kroners.
It. You'll get it
Bev has
eventually.
yeah. Bev has a thing for horizontal. I hope his partner is more into vertical. I don't know. I don't want to know about that kind of geometry, Bev. No need.
No, I'm a carer for her, so. She's
Okay.
mainly horizontal, right?
Take it. It did not want to know. All right. Oh, UTB Doug says for £5 says paying £5 for for Bev to shut the hell up for a minute while the grown-ups are talking.
Wow. Yeah. I like that. This sounds
way
pretty
is-
profitable, this, right?
It is. It's going great. Digital Demonic Davros again for 5 Australian says, I am still at your disposal to yell at Bev for 15 minutes, so this goes viral.
McToon, I just want
Yes.
to reiterate something here. Rumpus wants me to make sure people understand this.
Rumpus?
Is that,
What?
yeah, well, he Skyped me here.
I'm making a brew.
That-
This must be really important.
Let me just state
Oh,
this.
yeah.
It'll just take 30 seconds. Is that the water levels on your risers in your water level, those levels will all be the same whether you're on a flat earth or a globe earth. The only thing that's going to change is the gap or the distance between the top of the water in the water levels and the horizontal tangent that the surveyors are going to establish. But the water levels on each of the risers will all be the same regardless of being on a flat earth or a globe earth. They will not change. And so you can't conclude anything from that. The only
Rumpus
thing
knows
that's
that
gonna
now.
Wait a minute, George. One of
That's
them
the
would
key.
be horizontal, right?
It doesn't matter. I'm not going to
What do
go
you mean
through
it
the
doesn't
semantics of
matter?
this. I'm just
One of
telling
them
you
would be
the only
horizontal and
way-
the other one
the
would
only
drop
way you're gonna
away
be able
from
to
the
tell
horizontal.
anything is by looking at the gap between the
Rumpus
top of the
just
water
told you
in the
to say
tubes
that.
and the tent and the horizontal. Yeah, that's your claim, but we're saying
No,
that's not the case.
That wasn't what you were saying before. You were saying before,
No.
like Jesse
No,
Kozlowski
that's not-
said, there is a drop from the horizontal. You even drew a drawing.
There is, yes, a drop
Right,
from the
well,
horizontal.
how is that at the same level? Because you said there was a drop
drawing.
of 2 inches and 8 inches.
See, he just doesn't get it. He
No,
really
it's-
doesn't
It
get
can't be the same.
It's,
It can't
he
be
doesn't get
straight
the geometry.
and
No, you
curved
guys think
at the same
level.
time.
geometry.
You guys think level is a curve. You think it wraps around like a tire.
Literally,
Yeah,
around
that
the
is
wheel.
correct.
entire
That
field
is
of
the level.
surveying
The level
agrees
does
with the
follow
level
the
being a
curve of the
curve.
earth. The
Name
level
one.
follows the curve of the earth. The horizontal does not.
Yeah, why don't you go and check that?
No, that's
Right,
what you're going to be doing.
Yep.
So we challenge
I
you
have-
here. Go and do
on-
the test.
On my website, I have about 35 citations. mctoon.net/level from professional surveying textbooks that declares that level is a curve.
You know, I could read
So-
a textbook on how to rebuild an engine.
So-
Do you
but-
think I could
but
go out into
you-
a garage and do it though?
But you were asking, name one. I can give you 35 official citations.
What
which
would
is
you
better than
believe?
just
Would you
one.
believe all 35 citations, or if you went out and did it yourself?
We could put some on our
I would
website.
believe
I have done
measurements.
I have done it on Rainy Lake here in northern Minnesota.
George, we talked about you shot 6 miles across there, and you agreed with me. You'd have to go in shorter increments to measure the actual shape of the ice. You can't
No,
take a
you
6-mile
don't.
shot.
No, I didn't go to the shape of the ice. I went to the water underneath the ice that establishes the surface.
Water.
Water
underneath
underneath,
the
the ice.
Yeah, you drill a hole in the ice, you let the water come up in the hole of the ice, and you are guaranteed that that is the surface of the water. You don't go to the
Yeah.
ice because the ice can change.
Yeah,
has
it shifts
various
up and down. I
frequencies
mean,
throughout the
Okay,
lake.
so you measured.
Bev-
What
Bev-
did you measure
Bev,
that
you've not-
from? Where did
Bev,
you
you've
get
not
the
walked on
measurement of
a
water
frozen
from?
lake, have you?
Where did he measure the water from then? Was the distance from the water to where?
He's got a couple
All right, we're-
videos. We can go over
We're not.
them.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
go,
we can
go
go
look
over
at them.
them
Go
some
look
other
at the
time.
videos.
Okay.
So, all
We'll
right,
go over that
Sir
one
Pick
of
a Pup.
Jeff's as well, right?
Sir
Yep.
Pick a Pup the Benevolent says for £5. Thank you very much. Have another £5 on one condition. Bev cannot use the word horizontal. The word is banned. All right, Bev, no more using the word horizontal.
Who's
Which
that?
word?
How much did he pay for that?
That was £5. So
That
it's
was
gone. You can't say it
well
anymore.
wasted. That right?
What is that word on the board right there?
So
The issue that
Oh
we're
yeah, it's
facing
on me board.
is the fact that Clary and Bev want to equate horizontal lines, a straight line, with level.
Yeah, and
through
they've
all-
not
Yeah,
established
that's
any
it.
measurements
Level
for that
is
yet. Yeah.
a straight line on a horizontal plane. That's always been my claim from day one, George.
Yeah.
That's true for a flat surface, but not a curved surface.
Okay. Well, we just got to get out there and measure it, right?
Yeah,
That's right.
I'm looking.
You
You
looking
think the
forward to that.
surface changes what level is?
That is
George.
correct.
Yeah.
Level always follows a parallel to the surface, like a sphere.
No,
Level
it
follows
doesn't.
Spherical.
A spirit
shell.
level doesn't care about what shape's underneath it. George,
That's right, and that's
come
only true
on.
at the point which you have the spirit level mounted.
Pardon?
Horizontal, as
Yeah.
you define it, is just a local concept. It
Yeah, it
changes.
doesn't bother with the surface
horizontal
underneath it, does
changes for each point on the
Define
surface
local,
of a
George.
sphere.
Can you define local?
Yeah, level would be a point. All points level would be equidistant from the gravitational center.
A singular
the
point.
center
How
of
could
gravity.
you establish
asking for the-
horizontal with a singular
He's asking
point?
for the
it? Yeah.
singular point is level. Sorry, horizontal is the tangent to the surface of a sphere.
Yeah, that's a
So
line,
a
isn't it?
singular point has
It's
no.
a line.
Yeah.
It's not a point.
Yeah.
Again,
Now,
Go
on a
do your
sphere, a
test.
three-dimensional
go
object.
do your test.
The surface of a sphere is a
Yeah.
three-dimensional.
This is like 8th grade math, maybe
Is it?
geometry type stuff, maybe high school.
No, I mean
that-
this is new for you
a-
because this adds an element of
surface-
practical
yeah,
into the geometry.
Listen up. The point tangent to a a point tangent to a surface.
A point tangent.
Oh my gosh.
A point.
The plane tangent to a surface
The
is
plane
horizontal
tangent.
Shut up, Bev. All right? The plane tangent to a surface
tangent
of
plane.
a sphere. Bev, shut up.
That was Clary.
That wasn't me.
No, it wasn't clear. It was me. I
That
was
was
just
Bev.
pointing out that you can't have a plane
All right.
that's tangent. You need a tangent plane. You're talking about, not a plane tangent to something.
Hey, Bev, please, let's stop with all these semantics
Okay.
and word
It's
games.
not
Just go out and
semantics.
do
This
your
is
test.
geometry.
A point,
He's muted.
a
He's
plane,
muted.
sorry, a plane tangent to the surface of a sphere is horizontal at that point only. It's only good for that point. Every other point has a different horizontal plane that's tangent to it.
It can't
on the
be
surface of a
horizontal
sphere.
at a point.
So I don't care what your definition, what you really want it to be, and I
He's muted me,
understand, Bev, that you're really confused about this. That it
Bev
doesn't
is
make
muted
sense
right
to you.
now.
Yeah.
He can't.
Bev is
speak.
muted.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Bev is muted. I'm tired of him interrupting me. Okay, so I will finish saying this,
How
and
can
then
you
I'll
have a horizontal
unmute Bev,
point?
and he can then he can describe to us how he's confused about this. Okay, so there you go, Bev. Go ahead and explain how you are confused about this. You have to unmute yourself as well. There you go.
Well, thank you very much for unmuting me.
So this is the Nathan Oakley show.
I was wanting.
This is my show where he doesn't get to interrupt me constantly anymore.
Okay.
Go ahead, Bev.
Okay, so you're talking about a horizontal. Now, a horizontal is a line, a straight line. Yeah? And a straight line is defined as two extreme points. So not one point. That wouldn't make it a line. It would make it a point. So you can't have a line at a point. That's contradictory.
Bev, see, the
It's-
point,
it-
the
it's-
issue
hold on,
you're
I
missing
can-
here, Bev, is that a straight line, when it touches the Earth on one point, it only touches the Earth at that point. It doesn't touch the Earth's surface in more than one point. A straight line cannot do that. That's the geometry. On a flat surface, a line will touch an infinite number of points on a flat plane, but it only touches a sphere at one point. When you lay that line to touch the Earth, it touches it only on one point and one point only. It doesn't continue along the surface of the Earth.
I know
touching
what a
multiple
tangent
points.
is.
That's the
Yes,
difference.
George. Yeah. right? I know what a tangent is within geometry. Very true.
Okay.
That is what a
Well,
tangent
tangent
does.
is a
But
straight line.
wait a
That's
minute,
your
you
straight
you
line.
don't think horizontal
stop it,
is a
Robert.
tangent, do you?
Horizontal is
A
tangent
horizontal
to a point.
is a tangent at the point that tangent touches.
Okay.
Horizontal
And
at
that
a point.
only.
Okay, we're going to go with proposition 18. This should be fun.
There you go.
I notice you've got
So-
that out there, right? Book 3 of Euclidean Elements. Now, earlier on, the definition of perpendicular is already made. Right? It's 2 straight
Bev,
lines.
why do you play these games?
It's not a
simple
game, I'm just trying to
concept. You
catch
have a
everybody up.
sphere. You
George,
have a
just pay
circle.
attention. Maybe you can learn.
I know this stuff.
Okay. So, we're assuming that a horizontal is a tangent when you play in this particular proposition, aren't you? Because this is just pure geometry, circular geometry. Obviously, proposition 18 in book 3. So there's a bit of work that he's gone through before getting to this point. Okay? Now, what are we going to go with this one, Toons?
What's your point here?
I don't know. He's put something up on screen.
So here, so the line described as CG is tangent to the circle at point C.
1 point only.
Yep.
1 point only for that tangent. Now that is on the surface of a sphere. So this is obviously just 2-dimensional. On a surface of a sphere, right? We extend that, so there is a point that is tangent to the surface of a sphere.
Can you define a point?
No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to go back.
Do you want to read the
that far
proposition
back.
out
So,
so everybody knows?
No, I want you to stop interrupting me. So on a surface of a sphere, the plane that is tangent to a point on the sphere, that would
that's
be
not
the
this.
horizontal plane.
No, this isn't a sphere. This is book 3. This is just circle
It's
geometry.
a cutaway of the sphere. My God.
No, this is circle.
Dear.
Book
Yes.
3.
It's a
And
circle,
I
but
did-
take a plane and cut a sphere through the center of the sphere. That's what you
book
get. That's
11
the
is solid geometry.
Yes, yes.
It's still establishing the basics.
so
at this
I
point.
made it very clear because I said these words when we extend it to a sphere.
You can't
Okay,
extend
so when-
one proposition so early
I'm sorry,
onto
I'm
a
sorry
book
that
so
you
much
don't
further
understand.
on.
Yeah, I'm not talking about I'm talking about these
axiomatic
first principles
system.
that you don't get. Yeah. So all
First
right.
principles are way back at the beginning.
Yeah,
You've
that's
passed way past
exactly.
them.
That's what Cleary needs. That he doesn't know what a point is.
Oh no,
So-
I think I do know what a point is. I just
Yeah.
you guys don't realize what you're saying here. I think it's funny.
All right. So I'll say it again, and I don't know why it's so hard for you to understand this. There is a plane tangent to a point on
If
the
a straight
surface of a
line
sphere.
touches a circle, and a straight line is joined from the center
Hey-
to the
hey,
point
Bev.
of contact,
Hey, Bev.
the straight line
Shut
so
up, Bev.
joined
Shut up, Bev.
will be
Bev,
perpendicular
shut up.
to the tangent.
Bev, shut up. Bev, shut up. I'm talking.
Proposition 18.
Shut up, Bev.
Okay.
I'm talking.
You're going to
Okay.
give us your definition of what's going on here, right? Okay.
Yes. So this here is a 2-dimensional. You extend it to 3 dimensions, right? This is the last time I'll say it, and we're done with this topic. A plane that is tangent to the surface of a sphere is horizontal at that point
No,
only.
not
Every
horizontal,
other point,
dude. No.
every other point on the surface of a sphere has a different horizontal plane.
No,
right,
that's
we're done with
definitely
this
not a
topic.
horizontal. And that
We're
was a
done with that
really
topic,
bad
and
use of
I'm
Euclidean
sorry.
geometry.
I'm sorry that you don't understand it.
Come
It's
to
not
Emma
that
UK
difficult, but-
for better lessons on
yeah,
logic
I don't know.
and
Nobody,
geometry.
none of you guys understand. You're all
You
really struggling with
guys.
this stuff. That's
Hey,
fine. So
McToon,
You
McToon,
guys.
yes.
McToon, I've been through this before. Tim,
Oh, yes.
Bev and these guys. what
These guys
horizontal
again.
would be-
It's like,
yeah,
what,
you and
what's that
Clary
about?
and the rest.
I'm
Is what
muted again.
horizontal to him would be is if you oriented that orange circle so that DE
Clary's muted
was
as well.
horizontal to the horizontal on your screen. See, it'd have
Yeah,
to be
they
at the
can't
top of
think in
that
3
for them to call it
dimensions.
horizontal. The
It's
fact
having
that
to
it's
mute us.
tilted and
Just sort of
shown
tilt.
at an angle
Yeah,
there
he
with
gets
respect to our
confused about
horizontal.
that.
To them,
Yeah.
that's not horizontal.
Listen to
Oh, I
childish.
see. So if it was rotated, then
Exactly.
would
You
get it,
rotate
yeah.
so DE
Yeah.
is at
So
the
the
top.
problem
Yeah.
is that Bev cannot think in three
problem is
dimensions
that
and translate that
McToons
to the
imagines
hypothesis
You have it
doing
of a
well
spherical
here.
Earth. Yes. He starts with the required conclusion that the Earth is flat,
WS
or that
has fed him
horizontal
this
is level, and then
shite.
demands that everything fit that, and actually
he's now
works on
having
that
to silence
presupposition
us.
Yes.
all the
I've
time
been down
for
that
everything
road several
found
times.
out.
Well,
on that.
I've been down that road with every flat earther I've ever debated.
Oh,
They start with the
telling us
conclusion.
names he knows.
So,
we're
all right,
not.
I'm going to keep
Must be
moving
getting
on.
a little bit triggered.
Bev, I've unmuted you, so you can talk now since the adults are done talking. So,
Oh, wow.
God's Auditor
Okay.
for
So, wait a minute, we
$5
can
says,
talk
Bev,
now. Is
I've been telling
that WS stuff that you've been given?
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Bev seems to think he knows
You said
more
we
about
could
surveying
talk,
than every
and
single
then
surveyor who
not
has ever
let
lived.
us talk.
He certainly does. Oh, I mixed up. That was Micro Raptor that said that. Yes.
How childish.
Of course he does, because he has a 2-year
this is still going
class
out
and he
live
took
on
a
our side, isn't it?
test to get a certificate or
it
something.
is.
So, God's Auditor said, Bev, I've been telling you for months you need to move beyond 7th grade math. Math didn't stop with Euclid.
This
Get some
money
algebra, get
coming
some
in.
calculus.
Ka-ching,
So,
ka-ching.
Let me just show you here. I got and George, you maybe can appreciate
Wow,
this
he's got
book.
some
This is from my
books.
engineering class.
Oh, yeah.
It's got
Yeah,
it's got a
all
good thickness
engineers
to
take
it.
a course
Look
like
at that big, thick
called
book.
engineering mathematics. I had one
Absolutely, that was
That's genius.
yeah.
Wow,
So this
and
was
another
my
book
this
too.
is this is Addison Wesley. This was my college level calculus class. I did
sounds
take
good.
calculus in high school,
Sounds
and then
really
so I
good.
skipped the first calc class in college.
We are
and
talking
then,
about
yeah,
just
went on to
basic
engineering math.
geometry and logic.
Or just e-math, as everybody says, and
It's not like this sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's where engineers get their
You don't need
first
to be
exposure
big,
to
mega-brained
things
people like these people.
Laplace
pretend to be.
transforms, Fourier analysis, partial differential equations, and things like that.
oh yeah.
To understand basic logic.
So all right. Well, Jess says Mike MC Toon's camera is also playing the drinking game. Yes. So there's a focus on there that's infrared, and then I have this plate that's in front of it. So I took it off so that it can focus. So I'm gonna get a different camera, but I don't know which one to get. If you have ideas on a good camera that has a ring on it, you can send me a message. Bella Charge for 2 New Zealand says get into tolerance stacking. That will blow his mind. Ooh, I don't think I've been into that.
Don't know. I don't even know what it is. Tell him.
Yeah.
Go on.
Oh,
George, have you done
McToon.
tolerance stacking?
No. But
Okay.
I've got something in the
okay.
works you might be interested in.
Might it blow your mind?
I've worked out the mathematics for sag in a line, and I'm doing a video on that, the mathematics of that. And I've been talking to the owner of Finn's Fishing Line, and he's sending me about 1,000 feet of spectral line, his top of the grade fishing line, and I'm going to be setting up a horizontal tangent between the two ends of the line to see how the actual sag in a line agrees with the mathematics, and I'll be doing it for different tensions
Is that
in the line
Ranty's?
and
You robbed
different line
Ranty's
lengths.
test.
Oh, that sounds cool.
That's Ranty's test, right, George?
Well, I'm not. I mean, this is not for flat earthers.
Cleary's
This is
muted as
just
well,
to
is
show
that
the agreement
for a reason?
between experiment and mathematical modeling.
All right. Well, Ranty did have that test, though. Did you say you had it before him or not? Cleary is
I
muted.
know that this is something
McToons,
that
you know
Ranty's
that.
been wanting to do, and Jaron and a bunch of others. And if you want to look at the mathematics, you'll see how it works, how to predict the sag in a line given a certain amount of tension in the line, in the length of the line.
All right. Horizontal, right, you say?
Yeah.
A horizontal between the 2 points. Between the
Take
two
a
ends.
line.
Yeah.
Take a line. Take a cable. Stretch it out. Say take 1,000 feet of line. Stretch it out. Put a certain tension in it.
Yeah.
In the center, the line is going to sag. The mathematics that I've worked out will predict how much sag there will be at the center of the line, given the length of the line, the weight of the line per unit length, and the tension in the line. And I'm
Okay.
going
And
to see
line
how
only
it
sag.
conforms with actual
What?
field measurements.
Yeah. What's that got to do with the horizontal?
Has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with this.
You
I
did
was
say
just saying, this is
horizontal,
a
though,
test.
didn't you?
There's
This has
people
nothing
other
to
than
do
you in
with
the world,
what you're
Bev.
doing.
No, he
All
did
I
say
said-
horizontal.
all
I just
doing is-
wondered what he was doing.
Jesus Christ. All I was doing was informing Mick Toon that I have a nice little video coming up where I'm going to do some field tests and see how it agrees with the mathematics. It has nothing to do with your test.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Promote it. Can we have a chat about that sometime then, George? Because we haven't really gone over our test.
Or you
properly.
you wait and watch my video, and then if you
Yeah.
have comments, I'll be more than happy to answer them.
There you go.
Okay, after the fact, right?
Well, why
Yeah.
not?
Okay.
Why? What's the point in discussing it before the fact? Until I present the mathematics and actually make measurements out in the field, what's the point of doing it before then?
Well, it sounds like you've robbed it off Ranty. I'm sure that sounds exactly like what Ranty was talking
Dear.
about.
All right, let's move on, Bev. Come on. All right, Jess says, hey, Bev, hey, Jess here. You're a flat earther. There you go.
Yeah, I've already said I'm not, but I mean, well
Yeah.
done. How much did you make from that?
You think the Earth is a globe?
Sorry?
Yeah. All right.
No, like level is horizontal, you
UT
said, right?
UTB Doug for £5. Thank you very much for that. Says instead of trying to get answers before the work is done, why doesn't Bev get the work done, then let them explain the work done and their findings? That's because they must be very careful that whatever they do, it concludes what they demand that it concludes. That's the requirement for flat earthers, is that all tests conclude what they need it to conclude.
Actually, what we're doing is going
letting
around
it go.
and talking to everyone and trying to make everyone understand
Like a
what's going to be
consensus.
done, so that when it's done, we don't have to come back and redo everything like we're doing now.
Oh, good. I would love to see if you got an instrument that is accurate to
A
whatever you
millimeter.
need.
Like,
A
a millimeter
mile,
over a
at
1
mile.
kilometer double run.
Well,
right?
but you're going to do a mile, right? So get one instrument to go the entire length of the mile.
No, that's
be
not how.
accurate enough
That's
to
not
do that.
how you do differential leveling, right?
Well, you're not trying to do leveling. You're trying to do horizontaling. It's a different thing.
Differential leveling, right?
No, wrong. You're trying to do horizontaling. You're not trying to do leveling. Leveling is based on an elevation. Horizontal is not based on elevation.
24 millimeters
based on-
in an inch.
So you're
pretty
saying on
accurate.
this on the basis of what? Sorry,
Yeah.
that
So,
differential
all right,
leveling
Jess.
doesn't establish a horizontal, right? You've just
Correct.
claimed that.
Differential leveling is not to establish a horizontal. It's to establish level, which is an elevation above sea level, and level is a
horizontal.
curve.
No,
Level
it's a
is curve.
horizontal.
Horizontal and level are
It's a
different.
vertical distance over a horizontal, right?
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
So Jess
Exactly.
for
Thank you.
$2 says hashtag Bev the Flat Earther.
Wow, dude, look, this is profitable for
Ooh,
you. Me not
we have-
actually being a flat earther,
We have
isn't it?
we have an alternative. Stringer News 1 has an alternative.
Wow,
He says forget Flat Earther. Liar covers it as well.
A lot about what?
wow. What? Yeah.
Lying about the shape of the earth. That is
Oh, the
what
shape.
flat earth is all about. Yes. Sir Pick-a-Pup the Benevolent for £5. Bev, what does it mean when geodetic surveyors get a triangle with more than 180 degrees?
Well, if they'd be citing those lines, right? I'd say that they don't know geometry because triangles
No.
have 180 degrees, right?
Except on the surface of a sphere, they don't.
But
Ben,
you
do
wouldn't
you
be
wanna
able
show
to
'em?
cite triangles and use tools, right, George?
Pardon? I was typing something.
If you sight triangles with a theodolite, yeah, what would the internal angles of that triangle be?
Well, it depends over the distances that you do it. If you do over long distance on the surface of the
You're
Earth,
sighting.
it will sum to greater than
You're
180
sighting
degrees.
would
But if
be-
you do it over short distances, it'll be really close to 180.
Okay, so let's say there's
Yeah, it'll be within the
mountains,
margin
and
of error.
the tops of the mountains are 2 miles apart, all 3 of them, right? And we are going to sight from one mountain to the other top mountain, right? And then we're going to measure the angles. We're going to go to all 3 mountains.
You need 3, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and sight the angles, George. How many
Okay.
degrees in that triangle from sighted points?
It'll be slightly more than 180 degrees if you use a precision theodolite.
Straight line triangle with more than 180 degrees.
Absolutely. That's how it works on the surface of a sphere.
Wow! You just said that, right? A
just
straight
did,
line
absolutely.
triangle with more than 180 degrees internal
That's right.
angles.
Because you're making these measurements on the Earth, and the Earth is not a flat plane.
Okay, brilliant. That's
On a flat plane,
yeah,
they will sum to 180 degrees precisely, but you're not on a flat plane. You're on a curved
geometrically,
Earth.
though, if you have a triangle, which is 3 angles, and an angle is the inclination of one straight line to another. So if you've got 3 angles, then you need 3 straight lines, and which you have because you are sighting these angles.
Yes, of course. This isn't... You don't need to tell us these things. We understand this already.
And you
Bev.
still think a triangle
Yes.
can have more than 180 degrees.
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
This spherical trigonometry. I don't know if you've not heard of this. It's not new. It's been around for quite a while.
Wow.
On the surface of a sphere,
You're reddening up.
every triangle,
What's happening?
every triangle has more than 180 degrees and less than 540 degrees. That is spherical
Not
trigonometry.
yeah, that's not a
So-
proper triangle, though, right?
That is
Again,
this
this is-
a triangle on the surface of a sphere.
Okay,
This
so
is a
that's
proper
not in
triangle.
Euclidean
Just like-
geometry, right? Which is what we use to define a triangle.
This is confusing plane geometry with spherical geometry, just like the drop distance on the
Can
Earth.
you
can
give us a
collect it over short
definition
distances.
of a triangle within your spherical geometry? I don't want to get
Oh, yes.
confused. You don't want anybody else getting confused, please. So,
Nobody else is confused. Just you, Bev. Just you.
right.
Well, I mean, maybe Cleary too, but
can you
Wolfram.
a definition
Wolfram
of
has
an
a really
angle
nice
to a
one.
curve, then, right? Or an angle
So
between 2 curves,
I'll put it in the chat.
or like plain rectilinear angles, inclination of one
Put it on
straight line or plane to
here.
another.
And I'll do this. Just a second, Bev. You're gonna see it in just a second.
Right. Okay. What's up, George?
I got it.
What's George doing? Is he juggling?
Oh no, I'm throwing the ball for Con.
Oh, right.
Come up here and play.
Let's see. I gotta get the right one. What's that clicking sound? I keep hearing the clicking sound. All right. So here you go. Spherical trigonometry.
Yeah.
So there you go. There it is. It's on the screen now. Read it. Feel free. I'm going to keep going with the super
That
chat.
says spherical triangle, right?
Yes, absolutely. Listen. All right. So Sir Pickup the Benevolent, the answer to your what is the triangle with more than 180 degrees?
Yeah, you
it
gotta get
means
the
that
ball
you are not on a flat surface. So there you go. Sleepy.
I think maybe a bit of confusion here where we can resolve it for everybody is Bev, the sum of the interior angles of a triangle laid out on the sphere of the Earth or on the surface of the Earth will sum to greater than 180 degrees. But if you're going from mountaintop to mountaintop and you somehow had your surveyor set out a straight line from one top to the other and the other between all 3 tops, then yes, they will sum to 180
Has
degrees.
Rumpus been calling you, or who just called you then to correct yourself? Because that
No.
isn't. You're going back on what you just said
I was
just
just
before,
thinking
aren't you?
about what you were trying to say.
Yeah,
Toon
straight
and
line.
I are talking
Straight
about
lines.
laying out straight lines on the surface of the Earth. A straight line on a curved spherical Earth are what we call geodesics.
It's not a straight line, is it,
You lay
George?
out a straight line
It's not a
between
straight line.
3 points on the surface of the Earth. The
it's a-
interior
it's a
angles
chord.
will sum to greater than 180. But if you somehow could manage to set out 3 straight lines, not laid on the surface of the Earth, but in the air as the way the crow flies, if you establish 3 straight lines, connected them together into a triangle, yes, they would sum to 180 degrees.
Okay, so
All right.
do you want me
We
to,
need to
you
get.
see
We need
this?
to move on. No,
You see
Bev,
this
I
here?
need you to be quiet, Bev. No,
What?
Bev, I don't see it. I need you to be
You
quiet,
don't.
Bev.
You don't
that's-
see.
Yeah.
You
I'm
want to look
just
at that
gonna
ball real
explain.
quick right
He
there?
doesn't want it.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
Yeah. Those are curved lines, but
Right.
we're talking about chords.
Yeah.
Chords.
So
What's
when
a
we
chord?
when
You
we
know
need to
chord
measure
is.
the angle,
All right.
Those angles that you have,
Oh,
those are
McToon,
geodesics
man.
on the surface.
You won't
And
watch
those sum
Alright.
to more than
George,
180
George,
degrees.
George,
Yep. Go ahead.
I gotta move on.
Yep.
I wanted to be
That's
done
fine.
45 minutes ago, so I
I
but
hear
I
ya.
have to
Okay.
read the super chats. So Bev and Cleary, you can be quiet and listen. You're welcome to stay, but you're done talking because it's time for me to wrap this up. Okay. So Sleepy Dan says Bev is jelly of the supers. His scam is failing. Yes.
yeah, no, Bev doesn't cost
Jeff,
anybody
Jess
any
says FTFE
money.
couldn't
Never
be
asked
Batman
anybody
because
for
FTFE wears
any
glasses.
money.
True. JL Warren, let's see, MC Toon, then what believe is justified by rejecting the heliocentric model? That's a great question. Bev, maybe you could think about this tonight. Why do you have to reject? Why is it so religiously important for you to reject
Absolutely
all measurements?
ridiculous.
There's some faith in there that's
floaty
troubling
balls
that you should
in
maybe
vacuum.
try to figure that out. Esteban Ilabaka says,
love a
Bev,
curve.
level equals horizontal works only over a flat horizontal surface. Where it establishes
Wow.
that the concept of level can't apply. Where is it established that the concept of level can't apply to any other surface? Level on the surface of a sphere is a curved surface.
Wow. He's
Just
never actually
declaring and
practically done anything
presupposing
like
that the
right?
Earth is flat and then demanding everything match it not the way to be honest. Thus the liar comment from earlier. Stringer News 1 says, if you're going to appeal to authority, the one thing you must bring is an authority. So, yes. VII Play Games for 56 says, can't wait for this experiment to never happen. Globe deniers are all talk because they know they're wrong. Woo-hoo. Yes. And I know the game, it seems he kind of leaked the game that he's playing here. Bev is not going to hire a professional surveyor. He's going to use differential leveling techniques with this little $100 auto level to try and do it because he's got to make sure that it fits his conclusion. So he's not going to establish a horizontal plane. He's going to actually establish a curved surface through differential leveling. So Digital Demonic Davros, ask Bev what a civil engineer does. He says civil engineering, that's Poe territory. Civils do surveying. Yes, they do. Let's see. Brainery. Here is some additional salt in the eyes of Bev and Cleary. Now, Cleary wasn't too upset by that. I think it's mostly Bev with his £100 auto level. So
Cheap.
Stringer News 1 for $2 says, I'm paying to not have this read. Oops, I read it. Kang024 says, why waste your time with Bev? He's just a dishonest northern and then 4 words that 4 letters I'm not gonna spell it. But if you're in the super chat, you saw that. Brian J. Munro for 5 Canadian says, level as understood in construction is not the same as horizontal in geometry. That is correct.
Oh, God.
I know it's
Wait
a
till
comedy.
you get this
it's
one by Jess at the end. My God,
It's a
I'm
comedy
sorry,
of
I'm
errors.
cracking
Okay.
a gut.
Okay. Glober Mom says, Bev, yes, MC Toon is our super chat gigolo. I'm a terrible gigolo. I'm sorry. Basic trigonometry for £2 says, I'm paying you to say this. Sir Pick a Pup the Benevolent for £2 says, I'm paying you to not read this. Paying you not to read this. I didn't read it. I just said it. Kang024 says, Bev, all right, kid, calm down. Oh, no, claim down. This is claim down. Oh, sweet. UTB Doug for £5 says, Bev's getting mad at people paying to slag him off. It's beautiful. Oh, thanks, Bev. I'm glad to have you here for that. JL Warren says, Bev thinks a spirit level measures the altitude of ghosts. I don't know what that is. Oh, Jess for $2 says, Bev even interrupts Bev. True. Brian J. Monroe for 5 Canadian says, any line or plane that is described as horizontal can only be described as such in relationship to what it intersects. Horizontal is not a constant. Yeah, I keep trying to say that. And yeah, like George said, I think it's the orientation you get confused on. So. Robert Williams says, does Bev even know how large an arc second is? That'd be good. Bev, you could type that into the chat.
I don't even know where the chat is.
Of the
it's
talk
new
here.
stupid
do you know
app
how large
that
an
he
arc
wants
second
to use.
Sarcastic Barman for £5 is
Won't
just
be
a super
using it
chat. So
again.
Bev
Should
will
come
ask
over
how
to
much money
Discord.
MC Toon.
Discord is
I need
much
to spread
better.
out my NASA shield check money anyway. Yes, thank you for your NASA shield
I guess
check
we're
money.
just waiting out to see how much money he gets.
Geez.
Pretty profitable.
Digital
for him
Demonic
tonight,
Davros
must
for
be.
2 Australians says 25.4 millimeters is an inch, silly man. So, Mr. Unite for the Children says, let's see, says $5 to MC Toon just to make Bev jealous and whine like Gollum again.
What the fuck's this? On mute.
So you're unmuted, or you can unmute. There you go. You can whine like Gollum for them.
What's that?
Just for $5. Bev's brain has been practicing social distancing from his head for quite a while now.
That's what I was laughing at. I'm sorry.
Coming from you, George.
Sir-
That's funny, right?
Sir Pick a Pup the Benevolent for £2 says, Bev, I don't think your whiteboard is level. It does look a little unlevel, Bev.
Might be the camera, right? You never know.
I don't know.
Never
It's tough. And Stringer News 1 for $2 says, Bev may not be on the level. And that is it.
On the
Stop
level
super
dot
chats,
live.
people.
Get on it, people.
George, I got this book last night from Charlie Duke, the 10th Man on the Moon.
Oh, wow.
Signed right there. Now this was like he pre-signed a bunch of these, but I printed out this one myself right here, and he signed it right there. Let me see if I can get it viewable. There it is.
Wow.
Charlie Duke on the moon surface there. That was pretty cool.
Right.
I have
Great
a
to meet him.
suggestion moving forward, McToon. I
Yes.
don't think we should be discussing this water level test anymore until it's
No,
conducted.
do the test, Bev. Then we'll.
Oh,
have a
so
look.
yes, let's stop talking about it, right? It's embarrassing
Yep.
for you.
Right. We want to see some action. Enough of the
Can't be
work.
embarrassing until there's measurements.
Yeah,
You
we
have
just
no
work
measurements
through the
yet, Bev.
basic geometry and logic with people, right?
Yeah.
Some people
my
are scared.
guess is you're going to use differential leveling techniques and then declare that differential
We're
leveling
going to get
techniques
surveyors to do it.
describe a horizontal.
We're going to get.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Differential
Yeah.
leveling is horizontal.
Yeah.
You think it's something else?
Ask the surveyors, is differential leveling establishing a horizontal or is it establishing a level? And they'll
Say-
tell you there's a difference.
They'll
It's
say it's
establishing
both.
a horizontal.
It's the same thing.
So ask them. You are declaring it to be the same thing.
Yeah.
And every surveyor I've ever talked to
Yeah.
says they are different, including all of the surveying texts.
I know
So there you go.
I think we've about done talking about it with people that are ignorant of the geometry
Knowledgeable
involved.
on knowledgeable on these things. I
Toon, have
know.
you talked to anyone other than main surveyor Jesse or Larry? Any other surveyors besides them?
I have referenced 35 different
Books,
texts on it. Yeah.
how about
exactly.
human voices? Have you talked to any other surveyors
So
besides those three?
so only three is all I need to do. Or
How-
only-
he's
They're all
asking
three
you.
globe lovers, though.
yeah.
But Clary and Bev, why is it necessary to talk this thing to death? Just go out and do the
Go
task.
do it. Yeah.
To establish
See,
that
even Fawn
level
agreed.
is horizontal, right? This is why he's just asked you, how many other surveyors have you talked to? It's really
Three's
easy
a-
to ask a
three's a pretty good
surveyor,
number.
right?
But they're all the three globe lovers, the three defenders, the ones who were out with
All-
Soundly.
Yeah, the ones that
All-
have run away from
Well-
talking about this.
Well, I'm quite certain that the main surveyor was not anywhere with Soundly ever,
He hangs out with Jesse quite a bit.
but he was not with Soundly.
I don't know. I don't have like a tracker on him.
He wasn't on the scene when Soundly retired from it, so
oh,
they don't
Soundly
even have an
retired.
overlap on the scene.
Soundly came by the other
Soundly
day.
retired.
I don't think he retired.
What did he retire
Glass-
from doing?
Glass Monster for $2 says the Flurf hasn't got a brain.
Who's
I'm
he
a bad
talking about
motherfucker.
there?
I'm sorry for that.
Who's he talking about?
The Flurf.
Yeah, which one's that? Who is that?
George is.
And
Whoever
do
might-
you,
George
do you
is
have a
Flurf?
pet?
Whoever might be the Flurf. So anyway,
I think
that's
George is a Flurf.
George.
that's
I think it's
that's
George,
the
too.
time. I'm pretty sure George is not a Flurf, but I need to get going. I've got to take a Riley, and it's almost time for dinner. So I've got later today at 10 p.m. Central Time. I do not have anything at 8, but at 10 p.m. Central Time, I've got a debate on 5G with Dion Smo, who is going to tell us all sorts of information.
Are you not giving any shout
not
outs
at
to
all,
anybody? Or do we have to do that ourselves?
Would you like to? Go ahead.
Okay, we'll give a shout out to Emma UK on Discord. Anybody want to come over, have a chat? We're all welcome to come and learn a bit about the water level test and everything. I've got a channel, Try Thinking, where we discuss these sort of things. Basic logic, basic geometry. Just talk basically. Clary?
Cleary?
Oh yeah. We're just hanging around the Cleary channel. I'm out there. We're out there doing our thing. So yeah, anything you need, come by. We'll talk anytime.
George,
He's muted.
got any
I think he said
any shout outs?
he said level is horizontal.
Yeah, yeah. He's muted, but I'll speak
Doubt
for
that.
him.
George,
Lip
George,
read.
you're
Level
muted.
is, I was wrong all along. Level's horizontal, right, George?
All right, George.
No, I was just typing in chat. Enough of this talk already. Just go out and do the test, for crying out loud. You can talk.
Yeah.
This has been talked to death enough.
It's great. I love it, George. It's good fun.
All right, everybody. Thank you, everybody. We'll catch you next time. Be sure to like and subscribe, and thank you for all the super chats because it really tans Bev's hide.
Coming over. I'm not bothered about you. It's great. You make loads of money from it. Right? Come over to Emma UK. We're going to carry on over there, no doubt.
All right, have fun.
All right. Peace out.
George, it's great to have you on.